Yo, what is the deal, my Kim folks? First and foremost, man, peace and blessings to anybody that's hearing my voice, either in this current broadcast or in the future. All my viewers is that's viewing this, man. I wish peace, blessings, prosperity, and productivity over you and your people. And I pray that the Most High continues to put a hedge of protection around you and your loved ones. Today's topic is going to be a controversial topic, but I'm gonna try to present it in a fashion that's not rooted in any type of controversy or confusion that can lead to conflict. So without further ado, man, you know what I say, man. I'm gonna let YouTube do what it is that YouTube does when YouTube does what they do and send out those notifications to get individuals in here so that we can get into this content, man. I feel like, see, thought-provoking content is what I present to you all. So right now, I want to know who's preventing the spread of peace throughout LA. Is it the Gangstas? Is it the neighborhood Crips? Or is it the Bloods? I feel like this is something that we should have a conversation with, because this puts us in a position to where we can start identifying certain things and creating a unique way of getting brothers to see things from a different perspective. But we got to identify who's the biggest hindrance to the peace in LA. Crenshaw veteran foe says, what up? We got brother Popeye in the building. Crenshaw veteran foe says the YNs only replicate what it is that we do. Fresh face, what is the dinner, man? What's popping with y'all? Look, this is what I want to do. I just seen a clip of ODM Slim on Instagram, and I said, man, you know what? This brother kind of got a point. And then it made me see things from a different perspective. Because here it is, you have a Crip, ODM Slim, neighborhood Crip, 55th Street, 57th Street. Shout out to ODM Slim, shout out to the neighborhoods. Shout out to the Damus as well. There was some, I'm gonna just get into it, and then I'm gonna commentate after I show you the clip. And I'm gonna show you how Crips are trying to prevent certain things from spreading and becoming worse. Crips are making efforts. This is my opinion. We're going to also have Popeye pop in at some point in time, and he's going to give his opinion as it pertains to who's preventing peace in LA. Let's get into the content. Here we go. Load this up for you.
Now, don't be wrong. If it was some enemies direct, like Hoover neighborhood, ain't no run no phase. You know what I'm saying? This could do Bram neighborhood. It's too much. You know what I'm saying? That's too much. But this is Power Room Compton. I'm gang. You Power Room Compton, I did all this shit, my nigga. Dead homies. Y'all got niggas that know homies and all that, nigga. Run them phase, cuz. Just simple and plain. No ifs, ands, and buts. Run them phase, bro. On Crip. Nigga, I don't give a fuck with them. Nigga on the set, nigga. Nice ass, nigga. You got all them big ass titties, nigga. We gonna run them titties down, nigga. Run them titties right down, nigga. Run them titties down your throat, cuz. Straight up. We know you can't fight. We know you swimmer. You know for swimming, but still, we'll take the swim lesson, cuz. We'll take the swim lessons, cuz. Fuck that. We'll take the swim lessons, cuz. On Rolling Crip. We'll drown a nigga. Dead homies. Fuck that. On Crip. I bet he got money coming, run a favor 4 extras. Dead homies. And this nigga like he old, cuz. His old ass, but I see him. We catch his old ass nigga. We running cuz in the dirt. Neighborhood Crip. We run this nigga off the back. I'm gonna run cuz in the dirt. I heard nigga Hoover niggas in here too. I heard this Hoover niggas with him though. I heard they will get niggas 9-4 Hoover. What type of shit is this, cuz? You got Hoover niggas, Blood niggas, and Power Room niggas together. Niggas running around on some internet shit, cuz. They just run the face, cuz. That's what it is, cuz. I don't give a fuck about none of that. Apologize. We apologize to neighborhood Crips and nigga, shut the fuck up. Nigga, that's the cowardest shit ever, cuz. That's the cowardest shit ever, cuz. Dead homies. Fuck your apology, nigga. Dead homies, nigga. That's the cowardest shit ever, cuz. Dead homies. Straight up. Off the back, nigga. That's the cowardest shit ever, cuz. Do all this shit, nigga. They go cry or hide. Oh, no, what happened was on Bloods, I didn't know what's going on. So I just was doing this and that. You know what I'm saying? I just go with the homie. And we just playing, Blood. Like, I know this serious, Blood. Like, shut the fuck up, nigga. Shut the fuck up. Nigga, fuck you. Straight up. From here on out, Compton, Compton, whatever, G Uno. Just know we don't neighborhood crip and G Uno don't sit eye to eye. At all. We don't sit eye to eye, cuz. Now, Treetop itself, we don't be no Treetop, cuz. But I swear to God, my homie see you gonna be like, we need some fades, cuz. On rolling crip. We need the fades from you, bro. On rolling crip. We need the fades. King Pill, on crip, cuddling answer his thing. Cuz a buster. Cuz want to do, he would do everything on camera. Oh, nigga, get off camera, we can squabble off camera, bitch ass nigga. On Andre, nigga. Cuz want to no squabbling. Dead homies. Nigga want to troll, nigga. Oh, yeah. Nigga, shut the fuck up. Fuck you, nigga. Nigga, what's up, nigga? Get in, nigga. On Andre. Scary ass niggas. Niggas is scary, cuz. Andre Lockhart. Niggas is straight busters. Dead homies. Tired of these buster ass niggas. Neighborhood crip. My mama, bro. Now,
we got a page on Instagram called 21 Questions Podcast. And I guess it's ran by somebody that's a Damu from the jungles. And I feel like when situations pertain to Crips, you know, this person have a outlook that's pro-blood, even if the Crips are in the right. I feel like right now, ODM Slim, despite what you feel about him, despite his internet antics and so on and so forth, and where you from and all this and all that, right is right, wrong is wrong. When they grabbed though, when a Paru from Pomona went to Compton or Bompton, whatever you choose to call it, and grabbed some Parus and said, hey, listen, I'm about to troll this nigga for extra. We gonna go to the 40 hood with our red rags and we gonna do this. And I already made a diss track about him and I'm gonna sing the diss track. That is a violation. Any reputable set throughout LA County will feel played and feel violated by those type of actions. That shit wasn't cool. Y'all don't even beef with the 40s, nigga. What the fuck is you over there doing on some internet shit, you stupid ass nigga? You can get yourself hurt over some internet shit. Niggas want the internet popping and be this and be that on the internet over some internet shit, homie. See, ODM Slim, I'm going to salute him and I'm going to give acknowledgement to him and I'm going to sing the brother, I'm going to give the brother his acknowledgement, right? Because he could have said, he could have just jumped on some B blank stuff. And I ain't throw up the B blank, I just threw up the B. He could have jumped on some B blank shit. Somebody in the chat said the YNs is the ones that's postponing peace throughout Los Angeles. He could have got his young homies and said, listen, homie, they came over here, they did that on Neighborhood Crib. Go get cracking. And they would have went and got cracking. But all he's asking for is phase. He's not getting on the internet saying P blank, B blank, and all this and all that. But when we sit back and we look at the YouTube streets, we look at the local music industry, you got the little dudes from Baby Stone Gorillas that's pushing C blank heavy. You got dudes up out of the jungle that's doing interviews, and the first thing that they want to say is C blank. You don't got Crips coming to the internet as much as the Bloods pushing that blank before a certain alphabet. I just don't see it. Correct me if I'm wrong. So if I had to come to a conclusion and say who's preventing peace in Los Angeles, it'd be the Bloods, homie. The Bloods are preventing peace in Los Angeles. So let me tell you a personal situation that I just recently had, right? Boom. I'm strolling through Instagram. I come across a dude from Bounty Hunters. And you know, we got a cool relationship with the Bounty Hunters. Got a cool relationship. And this is the reason why I tell you I never subscribe to the Hunter Herd movement. I ain't never fucked with that. Do I got love and abundance for the Bounty Hunters? Most definitely. But me pushing Hunter Herd, hell no. I don't rock like that. I never fucked with that. I ain't never represented that. It's being PJ. I'm raised under the original G codes and teaching. It's PJ Wash Crip or none. We got super love for the 7th Streets. We used to have an amazing relationship with the 7th Streets. We got an abundance of love for the home streets. We used to be on cool terms with the 10 lines. These is the closest sets. At one point in time, the PJs and the Fudge Towns was like really rocking. That's when he had the B.O.B. squad. I think it was the B.O.B. squad with my nigga Donut, and rest in peace, and my homie D-Dub, rest in peace. They had a squad to where they was squadding up and they was doing their thing. The Fudge Towns be in the hood. The homies be over there functioning with them. But we ain't never pushed Mafia PJ or PJ Town or Town PJ, none of that. PJs had never been known for pushing or aligning themselves with a hood to the point through our alliance or through our alliance, we push PJ this, PJ that. I don't fuck with that. It's PJ Watts Crip or nothing. Don't nothing come before that, and the only thing come after that is WC 114, 115, 113, 1112, and that's just is what it is. That don't mean that I'm anti any. That don't mean that I'm anti any other factions. If we can have a ceasefire and we can be on cordial terms, that's cool. That's beautiful. That's the goal of my mission. That's the goal of this podcast, to get brothers to start resolving things without picking up the choppers and going to go bust heads. No. So to the credit of ODM Slim, he could have easily came thrown here to his neighborhood followers and his Crip followers and start saying B blank, P blank. And that type of mentality, that type of behavior is contagious. You would have had more Crips that jumped on and like, yeah, this is what it is. Whoopty whoop, these niggas and this, that, and third. But getting back to what I just recently experienced. My homies have a cool relationship with the Banianas. Not everybody fuck with each other, but majority does, right? This relationship was formed before I got out of the California Youth Authority, went to YA, went to prison, came home, and it's like, what's this? Oh, we fuck with the Banianas, man. Like, oh yeah, man, it's Hunter Hurd. Fuck you, mean Hunter Hurd. And me being a conscious individual, knowing that if we're going to create an alliance with a blood set, you got Crips and Bloods together under an alliance, nigga, we got to get rid of the C's and get rid of the B's. Because if we don't, then certain affiliations, certain associations will prevent us from having something that can be sustained for a duration of time. We got to get rid of the C's and B's. You got some dudes from Banianas that's under paperwork. And right after the Hispanics, and some even put Crips before. Their opposition, their adversaries is Crips. You may have some PJs that may be under paperwork. And right next to the Hispanics, whether on top or right beneath, they sworn enemies is Bloods. So until we get rid of the C's, the blue, and the red, the B's, then we really can't effectively have an alliance because of the history, because of the other alliances that we may have with some Crip sets that be like, oh no, we ain't rocking with no Bloods. And they may have an alliance with some Blood sets to be like, oh no, Blood, we ain't rocking with no whoopty woo whoops. So that's me, right? This is my philosophy. This is my perception. You can say it's right, you can say it's wrong, but it's mine. It's uniquely mine, and I'm giving it to you, and it's unfiltered. This is the truth as I perceive it. Now, getting back to the conversation. Nigga scrolling through Instagram, all this, all that, right? Nigga come across a particular bounty hunter page. As y'all know, I do a lot of censorship when it comes to using derogatory terms towards Crips, Bloods, well, not Crips, I'm a Crip. It's within my right to say crab, and we don't get offended or affected by it. You know I don't mean it with no motherfucking malice, but I don't say that S word, that super loped out blood word. I don't say that. Even when I'm talking about the Hispanic community, I don't say that WB word. I don't say that B word. I do not use derogatory terms to describe any group of people, whether race, ethnic group, or organization, right? That's who I am. I'm really pushing peace. So I'm not going to create content that can be looked at as being disrespectful to anybody. I don't do that shit. I'm going through Instagram. It's a cat named Gigi from Banianas, right? Nigga used to be in the hood with the homies and all that, and all this like you really fuck with the homies, like, right? So I'm going through his page, not his page, but I'm going through, just the feed, right? And I see the AI thing. They got the AI thing with the grandmamas talking, oh yeah, I'm from Whoopty Woo Whoop, and I'm from so on and so forth and all that. Man, they got some gorillas. So I'm captivated by, like, hold on, man, let's see what the gorillas talking about. The first thing come out of their mouth, on Baniana Watts blood, didn't you say this was the crabs? This crab hood, right? I'm not offended by crab, but if you supposed to be the forward-thinking, business networking type of individual from out of the Nickersons that fuck with the homies, why would you even share that type of content and y'all fuck with some Crips? If the shoe was on the other foot and there was some gorillas in the car, right? Whether I created the AI imagery or not, and it's some gorillas in the car and they got on blue rags and they say on PJ Watts Crip, cuz then you say that this is the Whoopty Woo Whoops. whether a disrespectful term for the Great Streets or a disrespectful term for the Bloods, the Monoparts, Carvers, I'm not sharing that shit. That'd be against who I am as a man and what I'm pushing for. So I jump on the chat. I'm like, what's up, cuz? This what we on? Or this what we on? Like, what's the deal? Like, this what we on? The nigga block a nigga. Cause I go to this inbox, cause nigga, you be in the projects. How could you say you fuck with Crips and you fuck with the homies and all this and all that, but you sharing this type of derogatory content, but you want to do videos in the hood and all this and all that? If I was in the projects on PJ Watts Crip, on Stevie Wonder Bean, this ain't no set tripping shit and none of that. But niggas ain't bringing no jumper to the projects and I'm over there and you not looking out for the community or the motherfucking babies. So you gonna come over here, you gonna exploit us, and then you get on, your career take off. His podcast is launched and it's successful, but we're still dealing with the same conditions that we was dealing with before you came over here. How does my community benefit from you coming over here with these motherfucking cameras, exploiting our poverty, exploiting our pain, exploiting our stories? No, nigga, fuck that. You gotta look out for the community that you exploit. If I'm in the projects and you not from Imperial Courts and you coming over to think you gon' no, nigga, fuck that. Nigga, these babies gotta eat, nigga. Nigga, we got homegirls over here that's short on their rent, short on lights, that need a bus pass. Chip in towards that. You want to come over here and exploit this. No, nigga, we ain't doing that. And that's how I rock. Any one of my homies that did anything with me on PJ Crip, they'd have been compensated. Because if you come over here, you ain't just coming over here for the free unless we can benefit. We got to stop anybody from coming in our communities and exploiting us, and they get on and their careers get launched, and we still having fixed fries, fucking GoFundMes, and car washes to bury our loved ones. Nigga, what the fuck? This ain't just for them. This for everybody. White, black, Asian, all that shit. How are you? How is it to the benefit of the community? If my community can't benefit from it in some shape, form, or fashion, and get that shit from over here. Listen, homie, I call a ball, a strike. I do not get on the internet and inflate my ego and pretend to be something that I'm not. If I'm in the Imperial Courts housing projects, if I'm in the projects and somebody coming over there with cameras and all this and all that, hey, Kim folks, hey, how my community gonna benefit from this? And you got the little homies on there, some of the baby homies on there throwing up the hood, showing their faces, no mask and all this. Nigga, you just made yourself a target. A lot of y'all mamas and all this shit don't got cars to get you from point A to point B. All y'all ain't players to where you can call a little woo-wop to come and pick you up and take you where you need to be. Some of y'all is on a train and on a motherfucking bus. But you just did this game documentary, this game vlog, showing your face to the world, and everybody don't always got to on them at all times. So if we gonna risk the safety and security to some of my baby homies and some of my homies, no, nigga, gotta be some type of compensation. And it's not extortion, it's a business. This shit is real. But getting back to the content, homie. So I'm chilling. Just got off the phone with my brother. We talking about certain things and all this and all that, plot, plan, strategizing for the embetterment of us and our community, right? One of my little homies sent me some pictures, like, and he ain't from the hood. But before he sent the picture, he texted me like, oh, Mike, he texted me and he said, hey, big homie, big bro, don't y'all fuck with the Bunny Hunters? Yeah, we cool with the Bunny Hunters. He's like, man, I'm about to send you something. The thing that he sent me is the same nigga that had the gorilla AI imagery with the red rag saying blood on Bunny Hunters. Blood, ain't this the crabs? And then you say we going to the crabs. I don't get offended by that word. And a lot of times it's not the words, but the intentions behind the word. So my little Brody from South Central, I left my phone in the room. My little Brody sent me some pictures, and guess who it is? Hold on, fuck that. Let me go get my phone. The hypocrisy with these niggas, the fake friends, the fake associates, acquaintances, and all that, nigga, fuck that. Because if it's that and it's that, then let it be that. See, a lot of niggas throw rocks, hide their hands and all that, but niggas really be harboring ill will towards certain niggas in certain hoods. A motherfucker come through, do some shit, and be like, oh man, we heard it was the. So now you got Crips jumping in these cars to go do something to other Crips, and all the time this nigga feel like this nigga fucking this old lady, fucked this baby mama, or looked at him wrong at the gas station. So a nigga feel like, oh, we about to go over there and put it on a. We got to consider all this shit when we talking about reconstruction. because all this shit is relevant. All this shit is pertinent to the movement. A lot of niggas pretend, a lot of niggas masquerade, and they do this when they around us. But when they're in the midst of their own, when they're in the midst of other Damus and their homies, their disposition change. They stance on relationship with Crips change. Nigga, you can't change me. Nigga, I love black folks. Crip, blood, vice lords, GDs. If you's a righteous individual and you pushing a righteous cause, nigga, righteous cause, I want to fuck with you. Because that's the type of relationships we need. All this fake ass, bunk ass shit, man, we don't need that. Hold on. Pause. Let me go get my phone. I'm back. Don't go nowhere. I'm back. Hold on. Let me go right here. I don't know if y'all can see this. Hold on. That's one of the pictures. Another picture of a nigga throwing up C blank. But this a nigga that fake ass fuck with the homies. I guess the Bloods just recently had a picnic. They got to do a Damu picnic. So all the Bloods coming together. And that's cool. Do your thing. Black relationship building, fortifying strong relationships in our community is excellent no matter who the fuck do it. It's a beautiful thing that can be beneficial, but the hypocrisy from some of these niggas. Nigga, you be big in the hood, chilling and all this and all that. If you a CK rider, nigga, when you in the midst of us, nigga, maintain that same energy. Be a CK rider. If you chilling in our projects and thugging and all that, and the homies let him come over there and make a video. I don't understand why some of my homies allow certain things to transpire. What you want to come over here and make a video for? When you can go to your hood and make a video. Can my homies come over there and make a video? If they can, then I'm about to holler at my little rap homies and tell them, hey, you niggas can go over there and make a video on the niggas, cuz. It got to be a certain level of reciprocity, because if it's no reciprocity, if you could come to my projects, shoot videos, do interviews and all that, and it's not reciprocated, oh, it's a superiority complex. Niggas think we suckers. Niggas think we marks. Not saying that that's the idea that all bounty hunters have in their head for my homies or other Crip sets. But the hypocrisy, cuz. See, I come on here and I tell y'all, what you do in the dark, that shit gonna come to the light. You got all these Bloods that come in these social media spaces and they express their disdain towards Crips. That's counterproductive. And in the words of my player partner, that's counter-revolutionary. Even when Spider Loke and Munchie B was fucking with each other under the Bick and Back, Seeing Cool, or Kicking Cat, Being Boo podcast, they got pictures and videos of Munchie B in the background putting up the neighborhood fingers with the FU to it and throwing up C blank. So what the fuck is really going on? This is the question we got to ask ourselves. What's really going on? How do we connect with our blood brothers, the Damu car, and start some type of reconciliation to where we don't got to deal with this type of shit, and we don't have to feel like, man, these niggas got two faces. What I'm gonna do right now, and I'm gonna let anybody can come through. If you got something of substance to say and you want to contribute, come on. But I got Pop Pizzle that's about to come on, because I believe that his outlook on this may be slightly different from mine. I feel like the biggest hindrance to peace spreading throughout LA is the Damu car. Hold on. I mean, that's my personal opinion. by way of me being in Pop Pizzle, where you at, player partner? Me being inside of these meetings, right? Where it was A Trays, Six O's, PJ's, Great Streets, Bonnie Hunters, Inglewood Families, Crenshaw Mafia, Divin Lanes, rest in peace, Mufasa from Swans. So everybody is East Coasters. Everybody is there saying, well, listen, homie, this is how we feel. Okay, for sure, respectfully, this is how we feel. And it was an opportunity for a particular blood set in that meeting with two blood sets. You had the Bonnie Hunters, representatives from the Bonnie Hunters, and then you had representatives from Crenshaw Mafia, Inglewood Family, and Divin Lanes and Swans, Mufasa and them. It was an opportunity for the Swans to end their beef or minimize their beef with a particular crib set in that meet. And respectfully, rest in peace to Mufasa. The Bloods collectively agreed, before we get into that, we're going to resolve our conflicts with one another. And we got Pop Pizzle in the building, man. I'm about to bring him up and we're going to get into some meaningful dialogue.
Hello.
Pop in the building. What's the dinner there?
Hey, how you doing? Peace and blessings, brother. Can you hear me?
Blessings received and returned, my brother. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. Shout out to you. Yeah, man. Like I said, I love your channel, man. You got it popping, man, and you
Appreciate you.
always bringing that positive energy and awareness. But with that said, Um, I'm gonna say this, man. I think it's individualized, bro. I can't say
Mhm.
the Bloods is the reason. I can't say the Crips is the reason. It's just individuals. It's just cancers in the community, bro. Because you got good on both sides. You got Dom moves and ex Dom moves that one piece. You got keyways that active keyways and ex keyways that one piece. And the same for the Hoovers. But then we can go to the hood vlogs, and I could point out a gang crib neighborhoods that throw fuck you to the B. They throw a middle finger through it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just back and forth, period. I really shouldn't be speaking on the Hoovers, but I'm gonna speak on, from a black point of view from what I see. And you got a couple of the Hoovers on there, talking about, the end blank, for the neighborhoods. And so some of the prison videos that they show some of these brothers that's they got a cell phone that's going at it back and forth with certain people. So I don't want to point a finger and be biased towards a certain a group of individuals or a gang, should I say? But I do believe that it's everybody's playing a role in it, bro. It's individuals from all sides, should I say, that's playing a role in it, bro. And then you got, you had spoke on ODM Slim. I personally don't like him. But if you want to get technical, man, that had nothing to do with the 5 7 5 5s. That
It's
was the
neighborhoods.
40s.
It's
I know
neighborhoods.
it's, but I know it could be a
The
neighborhood
situation
thing.
that had nothing to do with the Paru, so you can't be biased. You said you're not gonna be biased, but you've been biased.
Well,
The Parus from Compton jumped into some shit to support a nigga from Pomona. That's not
okay,
even Los
so
Angeles.
so
They don't
so
even beef
let's
with the 40s. Neither one of them factions beef with the 40s.
so let's do it like this, right? Why can't we just ask them why did they get involved? Right? Why did G Uno get involved? I heard that they did a rap song together, and their whole thing was they just did the video over there. King Peel
Come on,
was promoting the fight.
come
You
on,
know what
man.
I'm saying?
We're
No, no,
not being
no, 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 no.
realistic
I'm not. I'm
at
not.
this point in time. We're not being realistic. We're
Okay.
not being
Well,
realistic.
I can't. I
It's not
can't.
rooted in realism. Because if me and you do a song with each other and you say, well, let's go to the 60s and go to the 60s, niggas, for what? You ain't from 60s. You associated and affiliated with the Inglewood families. Don't you mean we should go to Darby Park? And
But they. But.
then you
But,
disrespecting a nigga in a song. Like, come on, my nigga. If we gonna be
but
real, let's be real. And
let's
I'm
be
talking with
real,
passion. I'm talking with passion, not aggression. So please don't misunderstand the place that I'm coming from. But
brother.
go
We
ahead.
brothers. We brothers, man. We go way back. It ain't gonna never be that way. You know what I'm saying? I got love for you, brother, regardless of
Righteous.
anything. But with that said, brother, Four Extra and somebody I forgot the other guy, Dodie Six made a song about them first.
Okay.
So
There's
they retaliated far as they went they did a step up.
well,
There's no degree to consequences, bro. Like you can't say okay. You
You
kill
can
my
pick
dog,
your
I kill your
choices, but you
cat.
can't make. You can pick your choices, but you can't pick your consequences. I agree with you
Right,
on that.
right.
And that
But
song that they made to disrespect King Peel, Dodie, what Dodie Six from?
he from 40s.
He from 40s. All right. Where 4 Extra from?
40s.
They homies. They ain't go get a dude from 6-0. They ain't go get a dude from Harlem. 240s made a song about a Paru troll that was using this dude name when he was in jail and big talking about what he gonna do to him and all that. It's justified with him making a diss song against this cat. But how do G Uno, a Paru, way from Compton, jump on that track and then lend his presence into the rigmarole?
I'm gonna show you why. I'm gonna show you why. Because you just said it. ODM is neighborhood, right? Well. Oh, you
You
G
can't
Uno
do
and
that
King. Hold on,
because
hold on,
that
no, no, no,
came
no, no, no. Let me say
afterwards. No,
something. Let
no,
me
no,
say
no, no, no,
something.
no. I know
Let me
where
can
you going.
okay,
You
okay.
through
Let me
the
say something.
alliances. They're
After
Parus. They're Parus.
they're
So if the
Pyrus,
school
bro.
for I understand that they did it first. Hear me out. If a Paru from Pomona go to Compton or Bompton and grab another Paru that has nothing to do with this and take them to 40 Hood or whoever hood they was in, you made your choice. Now you can't pick your consequences. So when ODM Slim as a 5557 neighborhood jumps on the side of his peoples that he have an alliance with, you can't blame him. The Parus did it first. You
Listen,
can't fault him.
listen. At the end of the day, right? All this shit's stupid anyway. To be honest with you, it's individualized, bro. Because you got like myself. I'm an ex Don Moose that's still loved by many, and I'm pushing peace. And I'm addressing the issue. I'm going against the grain on some of the homies because they not pushing peace. But it's camouflaged with all this other shit that they throw on me. So I don't agree with that. Like I said, I seen Main Streets on there throwing "fuck you" to the B. Am I offended? Hell no, because I don't bang no more. But I see this. I see the ignorance in it. I see where a lot of it is. It's tit for tat. What the Menlos just did one, and they was dissing the Hoovers. You know what I'm saying? So I don't agree with it, the Bloods is the reason. I don't.
I
Now
do. I
now
believe so.
if you personalize it with the
Especially
bounty
on the
hunters,
east side. Especially on the
okay,
east
if
side.
you personalize it with the bounty hunters because they right there, that's something that a watch thing that's going on. But if you go to the 50s, the Peblos get along with the five trades and the five deuces, Broadways and Avalons.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of Damu hoods that that got a understanding. Should I say? I'm not gonna say they clicked up, but Inglewood families and A trades. I remember when that started. I remember when we was beefing with the A trades, and
And
then I
and
remember when we had a ceasefire, and I
and the
remember
Inglewood
then
families don't and the Inglewood families still don't be pushing C blank. You can go
yeah
to
they
Inglewood.
do,
You
yeah
can
they
go to
do,
Inglewood, right? But what's the point of having an alliance if it's gonna be rooted in disrespect?
but but
That shit
but
is bullshit. You can go to Inglewood. You can go to the IF. You can go to Inglewood Family Hood right now, and on Stevie Walla Bean, you're gonna see C blanks written everywhere. But y'all got a relationship with the A Trade Gangsters. So how's you
I
pushing
mean,
C blank?
but you
Come on, it
can't.
don't make no. It don't make
No,
no
no, no,
sense,
no,
my
no, no.
nigga.
See, no. The thing is the fact of the matter is, all I'm saying is I disagree, which I feel like I should have the right to, and it's debatable, and anybody can come on here and state otherwise, but I personally believe from observing, it's individualized, bro. It's certain people. Because you got a lot of people that's not on that. One of my best friends, well, one of my good friends that I was in prison with was from 6,
Mhm.
and had my back, and and that changed my outlook on a lot of this shit. And even though you guys as PJs, when we was in the halls, we weren't enemies. But we had a mutual understanding, you know what I'm saying? When we was growing up in the halls, I respected y'all respected me, you know what I'm saying? And we respected, thugging and gangster shit. That's what we respected in the hall, regardless of where you was from, even though I was across town. But at the same time, it it's just individualized, bro. At the
I'm
end
gonna
of the
speak
day,
for
man,
the
because
I'm gonna speak for the
go
East
ahead.
side. On the East side, the East Coasters are leading the way with these peace movements. You know, making amends with the Broadway. Y'all know the story. So you have Crips that's actively trying to bury the hatchet, shall I say, with Bloods. But a lot of Bloods are not willing to accept the peace gesture. A lot of Bloods is declining it. They don't want to fuck with Crips. But you got Crips saying, listen, homie, this shit been going on for a minute. It's time for us to resolve this shit by way of creating some type of ceasefire, or even just opening up the dialogue to where we can move into having some type of ceasefire between our rival sets. And the
I could
Bloods is
point out. I could point out this. Let me ask you. Excuse me. Sorry for that. Apologize for that. But let me chime in real quick. Okay, I was watching like a hood documentary or hood vlog or whatever it was just recently of the '60s,
the
and
link is in the description if you want to come on. The link is in the description. Anything that you want to say, come faces and have a conversation with us. Go ahead.
I got two things to say real quick. Okay, it's like I said, it's individualized. Like I seen, the 6 O's just recently say, we got the faggots over there, and they diss the A trays and they diss the so on and so forth. Now the faggots, the word faggot is a derogatory word to distinguish families. And I'm like, damn, like when I heard, I'm like, damn, like it's like that. You know what I'm saying? And I know 6 O's personally, that's cool as fuck. And I actually got a couple brothers that I did time with that's on the streets right now that's in my union that, I sometimes link up with. And these are active 60s. And I'm like, I'm just like I said, it's individualized.
When
And
the
I can't put that all on Bloods because, and then, to go a little further, a lot of people got history. Like some people have family that's been knocked down by other sides and they don't want no peace.
It's a
That's
casualty of
just such a
war. We
right.
can't
But
we
that's
can't, and I don't mean to sound insensitive. I lost families, I lost homies. So I gotta lose additional homies now, baby homies and young homies, and my potential children, nieces, nephews, and all that, because I lost some homies back then. That's a casualty of war. This is what we signed up for. We was under a spell. We was hoodwinked and bamboozled. Now that we know better, we got to put certain practices into place to preserve the life of the next generations that's coming after us. Now, to speak to what you was talking about, it was the the tension between the 60s and the Inglewood families had kind of slowed down. It kind of reduced. The young cat, Capone, whatever his name is, for Inglewood family went over there and did some disrespectful shit and defaced Nipsey Hussle mural. So niggas like, cuz, we been on some cool shit, and this is how we repay it. Now, this is how we get repaid for being on some cool shit, from trying to relax and not be full-fledged into it and, just trying to enjoy life. They came over and defaced the homie mural and put some disrespectful shit on a mural. Oh yeah, it's back up. It's back cracking. So we can't blame it and just highlight the 6 O's without taking into accountability some things that the Inglewood families did to get them back on that shit that they was on when y'all was on what y'all was on.
I'm just pointing that out as one example, bro. Like it ain't just you that was a big thing on the world stage. So yeah, you can easily identify with that and point that out. But it's been rivalry going back and forth, hidden stuff that don't make the news for years. Even though I've been away for a little while, they just I can't look. I really don't understand this internet shit. So I try to be careful how I speak. But it was an incident that recently just happened over there in the section that I used to be from, and there's a couple of people. It made the news. That's why I'm speaking on it, and it made the news. And these were older cats that got, according to the news, allegedly, according to the news, you can look at it, Google it, was ambushed on by Crenshaw and Manchester. Old cats, 5 of them shot, and just like last year, and they took one of my homeboys, older cat, probably would have gave anybody a pass. And these are old dudes that wasn't even out there pushing like that. Just having just drinks. Rest in peace to Mousy, Big Mousy. And so, it's individualized, bro. Like I'm telling you, like I'm from the street just like you, but I gotta call it for what it
Be a little
is.
bit more specific when you say it's individualized.
All right, it's different. It's certain people, bro. Like you mentioned, Munchie B, right? I'm gonna speak on him because he's from our section. Okay, that is some mischievous, sneaky ass shit to be in the background on a neighborhood crip podcast where this brother's taking you don't like who knows what kind of slack from other people and disrespect for having this dude on his channel, and he in the background throwing up a fuck you sign to their hood. You got people like that. you know, disrespecting the dead. Talking about this dude be Brazy and them sister that had nothing to do with gangs. Rest that girl's soul. I'm familiar with the lanes. Used to live over there. I'm not trying to get off track, but I'm saying it's individualized. You got people like him, all right, that's pushing this bullshit. All right, and that's and on both sides. You know, you got I'm gonna speak on it since we're gonna get raw and uncut. You
Mm-hmm.
got Hefe. You know, he ain't dissing no Bloods and Crips on the pockets from what I see, but I do see some subliminal underlining sneaky shit,
How
which
so?
can cause some controversy.
How
You
so?
know, I believe he shot another lug at me the other day. I never personally ain't denounced my hood.
How
I
so?
be catching little shit that he say. And I be
How
like,
so? Let,
damn,
let, let's
like,
put it out there. Like, how so? We we
well,
we
he
we
know.
we, we getting into it. Let's get into it. Like, you feel me?
Well,
Because
well,
Young
go
and
ahead.
Hefe, respectfully, his content is becoming a little messy. But from what I see, I don't necessarily see him creating content that can upset the Bloods. I don't see him creating content that's disrespectful or inflammatory to the neighborhoods as a whole. I don't see that. I just
But
gotta
it's
talk.
it's still the black community, man. If we talk about bringing the black community together, that's still a cancer in it. Whether you know you
Explain. No, no, no.
people.
Explain. I want to
Well,
hear
what I'm
your. I want
saying,
to
what
hear
I'm
your POV.
well, like I said, like he's very very strategic on how he moves. You know, he's like
Mhm.
I could say something and you can't, or I'll say something, but then I'll be like, like for example, all right. Um, I don't want to get off track. I want to stay on course, man, because I'm not trying to single him out. But I noticed he's on his podcast, and he uses his podcast for to say some underhanded and sneaky shit sometimes, and I catch it, and I can't tell you every single thing because I don't study this dude. But in the midst of it happening, I catch it. I'm like, oh, that nigga, he okay. Like for example, right? Like he says, okay, I wouldn't mind doing a podcast with a so-called enemy, but I don't care for doing it for a podcast reason or anything. I would do it to be genuine. And I'm like, this dude is always trying to play like he humble and this and that, but yet he get on there all talking about who did this and who did that, and I'm just commentating.
So
It's like
messiness,
double standard.
basically messiness,
He's double
and and and
standard, bro.
and the
And he sat
projects
on
we
the
call that.
podcast with,
In
my
the
bad.
projects we call that messiness. So is you saying that he's messy?
Hell yeah, he messy.
Okay.
And this is the thing. This is the thing I noticed. Like I said, I got a little. I don't. Well, let me say this, bro. Like these guys already publicly announced their allegiance with this dude Munch. Everybody know me and Munchie don't see eye to eye. So
Hmm.
when these dudes do little sneak diss and shit, because these niggas don't know me, just like I pretty, really much don't know them except Munchie, right? But the thing is they take and they going off of this dude and what he's saying, and they involving themselves in shit that they shouldn't be involving themselves in because I'm not a bad dude, actually. I'm actually a cool ass dude, but the poison is there. So now we at odds because y'all allegiance is to this dude that y'all really don't fucking even know. So it's individualized, like I said. And I
Hmm.
was saying earlier, when Cartoon got on there and was like, man, fuck all this dumbass shit. We need to come together as a black community. In a nutshell, that's what he was saying.
Right.
And I agree with him. But however, we have cancers that are Crips. We have cancers that are Bloods. You know what I'm saying? And until we address those and really, bring that to the head and press on that, then it's gonna be an uphill battle, man. At the end of the day, that's what it is. So I disagree with it's just Bloods. Now, for the majority, I mean, I don't know, man. I just, I disagree with that. I think it's individualized. Like I said, it's a lot of underhanded shit. It's a lot of trauma and, bad history with people, even in internal wars within hoods. And, I just think it's real. It's just all fucked up. Is it salvageable? Shit, it's gonna take a lot of the leaders to come together, including them, because in some sort of fashion they can lead, but they using they platforms to mislead, bro.
Right. 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 I am going to stand firm on what I said. I believe that the biggest hindrance to peace spreading and reaching different parts of Los Angeles is the Bloods' inability or unwillingness to join, or not necessarily join, but I don't want to say ceasefire, I don't want to say peace treat, but reduce the tension in between Crip sets.
Hey,
Because
let me say one more
The
thing. One more
Crips is
thing.
doing it on the east side right now.
One,
It's
one more,
evident.
one more thing. One more thing. You got Firebug from Inglewood Family and Nipsey Hussle taking a picture. I know Firebug personally.
Mhm.
Regardless of what, oh, let me say something real quick. Regardless of what ODM Slim said about, oh, that nigga said don't associate him with the hood and this and that. He got on there and try to like, defame me and speak bad on me and all that shit. And he was like, he tried
Who?
to like ODM Slim. He on one of his channels. He got on there and he was like, man, I talked to Firebug. He said, don't associate that nigga talking about me, or referring to me. That's what he said that Firebug said. I'll make an example. All I'm doing is showing you something. He said, oh, that nigga said, you know what I'm saying? And that's what he does. He's another messy clown. And he got on there saying, oh, that Firebug, yeah, I got his number personally. He said, who got your number? Me, you or him? Referring to me and him having his number. And he's like, don't hit to that. Don't associate him with my hood. That nigga's a some buster, right? Or whatever,
Man,
right? Now, that's what ODM sled. And I sat back, I was like, wow, Firebug could really say that about me? Like if he did, and I'm thinking about this, right? And I know Firebug personally, because I was the same. Let me calm myself down real quick. I was the
take your
same
time, brother.
person.
Take your time.
Because it's like if he said that shit, like bro, like I got respect for dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I just want to choose my words wisely because I got to be careful of these internets, man. Because it's just not a cool place to just say certain things. But bro, I was the same young homie at them lowrider shops with y'all. And I'm saying something in so many ways that the intelligent ones can understand what I'm saying. I'm not speaking in codes at a lowrider shop. My homies actually owned a couple lowrider shops in the hood. And when things occur, homies, my face was one of them faces there, bro. And you see my face multiple times when it was time to, wear certain hats and shit and certain jackets. So for you to say something like that, I'm appalled, homie. I'm appalled if you told that dude that shit. And
Hmm.
that's and that's and I am because man, we all man, me, Firebug, all them dudes in that caliber, we all the same caliber, bro. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. Ever forget that. And I'm not playing. I'm not trying to make myself seem like I'm not. But them dudes can't go to the grave and look you in your face and say I wasn't. And so for the little crunchy bunchy motherfucker to get on there and try to, I don't want to forgive me, brother. Forgive me, brother. I'm just passionate about, it's like this the motherfucking
Speak your
thanks a nigga
piece.
get. Some
Speak
motherfucking
your
thanks
piece,
and
man. And
some motherfucking thanks.
I'm
It's the
not talking
motherfucking
about
thanks I get.
PEACE. I'm talking about PRECE.
Right,
So speak
right.
your piece, brother. You know,
Nah, this just the thanks a motherfucker get, right? And it's like, dude, the shit that I've been through and seen and done been a part of in my life and that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? To be disrespected on this degree, and to be and the motherfuckers is like, brother, how dare you? And like I told you before, there's no. So I'm pushing peace. I'm somebody over there that's from over there. That is loved by many, and I'm pushing peace, bro. I got love for a lot of block cribs. And look, when I was really in my active day, I brought a legend crib to the table in Folsom, and the homies was mad, and I didn't care. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I, I brought Papa Squally and Slowpo from H-Ray Gangsters, and this they G homies from the '80s. And I'm gonna repeat it again: Papa Squally and Slowpo, which is reputables from A-Trade Gangster. You talking about triple OGs. Brought them to the get to the blood to the Damu area in Old Folsom. And the homies didn't say nothing to me. And I told the homies from A-Trade, y'all can hang out over here and play dominoes and gangsters over here too.
hey, you know this guy named something like Clout?
I ain't never heard of something cloud.
All right, for sure. All right, continue, brother. Because
Yeah,
he's throwing the words at you, dude. You know what I mean? But for sure.
yeah, it's a lot of phonies on here, man. I'm gonna say it like this, man. I'm for peace. I'm for peace, bro. And I don't even care if a nigga Crip or Hoover or nothing, man. Hey, man, I'm standing on righteousness, man. That's what I'm pushing, man. You know, if a motherfucker coming towards me with any kind of, and I'm speaking, I'm not a Damu anymore, but I'm kind of like being an advocate for them in somewhat because I'm familiar with that side. Look at Skip Townsend. He trying to push peace. Ex Damu. It's a lot of dumb moves out here. You know that is. And
Hey,
I'm gonna
Spirit,
say,
oh, we're just real quick. Spirit Wonder, yes, a non-affiliate can chime in because the way that I perceive this, when things befall the black community, are not the non-affiliates affected as well? When poverty-stricken conditions are perpetuated in our communities, are not the non-affiliates affected as well? So hell yeah, if you want to just continue to talk in the chat, that's cool too. But if you want to actually jump on, you can jump on, brother, because this is a think tank that has to be comprised of affiliates and non-affiliates is the same. Are you a black man? Motherfucking right, choose a black man. So if you choose to, then jump your ass in the motherfucking square, brother. I mean it respectfully. Continue, brother.
no, that's pretty much it. But I mean, I'm ready for somebody else to hop in here and pose a question and or make a statement what they feel.
I ask you a question to keep you talking. Watch this. Master of Communication, certified Mac. So basically, brother, what you're saying is one man can be bigger than the program. Do you believe that one man can be bigger
Hell
than the program?
no, hell no. One
So
man
how is
can't be
it
bigger
individuals? How is it individuals and not a collective that's saying no, we ain't fucking with them niggas? Because if it's
because okay,
uh,
okay. Watch this. So I'm in the L.A. County Jail. And I don't really want to say no names to this brother in here with us anymore. Uh, but I'm gonna just throw a hint at you. He was one of the dudes that Little Muncie did a podcast on. So y'all go back and do your homework on that. But I'm
see
in the county
that
jail.
ain't cool. See, we didn't have
No, 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 no,
conversations
no, no,
about
no, no,
that,
no.
brother.
I'm not shooting nothing at him. I never said anything bad about him. I'm just gonna tell a story what happened. But I'm
Spirit
just,
Wonder, I got you. Hold on, I apologize, Papa. I want you to
okay.
finish. Spirit Wonder, we about to bring you on soon as he complete his thought, and we gonna matter of fact, we gonna bring you on, but just be respectful to the brother and let him finish expressing.
Well,
Go
what
ahead,
I was
Papa.
saying was, I was in the county jail and found a 5,000 floor. I don't know what the 5,000 floor is now, but in 2000 and I think 7 or 8, no, 2009. It was 2010. 2010, I was on the 5,000 floor. I think it was on 5,500 or something. And old boy was up there and he tried to get at me. He dissed the A-Tray gangsters. And this is a dude from my neighborhood. He was like, nigga. And nigga, why you telling the homie, why you telling niggas on the street that we fuck with and he dissed the T word. He dissed the A trays, he dissed the T word. And I was like, and I didn't like how he got at me. I'm like, dude, what you mean, homie? We fuck with the trays. He was like, blood, we ain't know. And he dissed the C. I knocked him out. I put him down. And I think the dude name is Rock from Two P's and a B. He tried to grab him, blood, that's your homie. That's your homie. But I didn't tolerate disrespect because I fuck with the A trays. So it was individualized. I had homies in my hood that didn't agree with it. Check game real quick. I'm in the A tray gangsters. Since Ant want to sneak diss me, I'm in the A tray gangsters on Normandy and motherfucking Manchester. I'm at the donut shop with Batch. You know what I'm saying? Hanging out. I got history with a lot of them A trays. But one day, one of his homies came out and he was arguing with his homie. And at the end of the argument, he was like, I at the time I had my little thizang on me. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't stupid, but I had my little thizang on me. And at the end of the argument, he was like, "Oh yeah, all right, cuz. But by the way, that's the homie Popeye from Inglewood family." He said, "Thank you for warning me. Thank you for warning me." I looked at him like, "Damn, like that." He was like, "You think we got this? We got bloods in the hood now." So it's individualized. And I looked at it like damn, like that. I thought it was good over here. And he's like, it is good. Don't worry about the homie. I'm like, man, I could do my thing. He like, nah, you can't get on the homie, bruh. I was like, man, but I ain't finna. But anyway, my point is I experienced it. And that's the whole point of me telling you these stories from both sides. It's individualized. But let the brother get in.
Hey man, We about to bring him in. I want to also answer this question right here because the brother Slimeball TV say, "Who is the neighborhood crip? Who is the neighborhood crip platform they own? You sound dumb, dude. No jumper is Adam platform." I think when the brother said the young and Hefe and Munchie B was on neighborhood crip platforms, he was talking about the black box when he had the Kicking Cat Being Bull podcast. And then Young and Hefe, he went on Spider Loc podcast too with him, my player partner H Blank Turtle from out the 40s. That's what he's talking about. But this is what I want to say real quick. When it comes to Crippin' and Blood in the C's, having an alliance and coming together with the B's, homie, we got to drop the C's and B's. And that story that you just told was a prime example of that. If we wasn't pushing Crip and Blood, it wouldn't matter that a ex-blood or this particular person from this side of the tracks is in the hood. Do you agree or disagree? That's all I'm saying. Now, we're going to introduce Brother Spirit Wonder. Man, jump on the standing angle and let us know what the dinner deal is, man.
Hey, what's going on, Bob? Yeah, what's the dinner now?
Man, the dinner nail is the dinner nail. This is the dinner nail right here, man. Us
That's what's
creating
up.
solutions and addressing pertinent topics as it pertains to us as black men, non-affiliates, and affiliates alike. And real quick, I never liked that. I never was in there for that turned up. That what was it with non-affiliate Fight Night
Tuna,
Friday?
tuna,
Tuna
yeah,
turned up,
yeah.
man. I never liked that shit, homie. On my mama. But go ahead, brother. You got the
Hey,
floor.
what's going on? Yeah, I was basically going to get at what you was talking about when it comes to you have to get rid of the C's and the B's in order to really elevate the piece. Now, this gang banging thing has been deeply rooted in the Southern California culture for like a very long time, and it's been like deeply rooted. So, in order for you to like get rid of that, that will be like a slow effect in gradually working its way through generations where it'll be like less and less gang banging. But due to the fact that it's deeply rooted, like on a short term basis, in order for that to keep peace, I think people need to refrain from basically dissing each other,
Mm-hmm.
these different
That's right.
sets. And yeah, because it's like I think once you start going towards like that, because I think like for certain sets to be like actually get along with, like, okay, a blood set get along with a crip set, I think that could be like a sort of like a beginning of something that could gradually turn into like
Can,
a
can I can I
bigger
chime
thing
in
where
real
it's
quick?
like, okay, it don't make sense for us to keep this in Crips, and we get along with this Crip set and that Crip set. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, but for the long term effect, if you really want to get rid of the Crip and the Blood thing, it'll actually have to be like it'll be like generations of work in order for that to like really get rid of itself, because we always been a tribal people, you know what I mean? Even before all these governments been established, like even with the tribes, we always wanted to have a camaraderie, of people. That's what made a lot of people started gangbanging in the first place. They love that camaraderie, being part of something, being part of a warrior class. You know what I mean? That's some people fear, some people love, some people look up to or admire, or even what I'm saying, be scared of. But that's my input as far as like from a non affiliate perspective. I see like this gangbanging thing is like it's so deeply rooted that it's like it's going to take some time if it's really going to like disperse itself. But it seems like things that's happening online is really like actually help upholding that.
Let me
And
say something.
go ahead.
Let me jump in real quick, bro. All right, so I want to give a shout out to Menace from H Ray Gangsters. I know. I don't know that brother personally. I don't think I ever met him in real life, but it was something that he did that I was like, okay, yeah, that right there can start the change in the community. To a certain degree. To a certain degree, anybody can argue, the difference, but what I'm saying is okay. What he did was he I guess he told his homies that if any of his homies get caught or they find out was hidden up in somebody else's hood and whacked out their enemy something, they gonna take them niggas right over there to them niggas hood and have them line it up with their homies, and they gonna get in, and then they gonna take them back to their hood and they gonna discipline them. And that was like a cool way of trying to bring, trying to like, stop this buffoonery of going over there wall banging, because the wall banging leads to what. And that was a start. And then if you get people to stop going each other hoods and hitting up, then pretty much you're gonna stop them from going over there doing other things as well. And that was a start. And I think that was more put the guns down, pick the gloves up if you really got, a problem. And if we can stop the killing, that's a start to me. So I opposed that idea to ODM Slim. He said, nah, that still gonna breed violence and people gonna be mad about fighting and squabbling. But I'm like, if you can get a person to go squabble it out and get that out the way, shit, and man, I done had fights with dudes and became friends with them afterwards. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing. Am I the only one
I'm
talking?
gonna say something, brother. Listen, homie, that strategy, that tactic is phenomenal. That was proposed from me to a couple of cats from the joint downs, my little homies. Shout out to my little homie Joski the Don. They was with it. Like, hell yeah, we could do some fighting when they want to do it. An older cat from Gray Street, I just call him AC, right? He was like, no, we can't do that because a cat this, that, and third. No, that's not true. It ain't what you do, it's how you do it. See, what
Right.
some of my homies was beefing internally, right? What my G homies used to do is get them two homies, get them out of the hood, take them to Mono Park. You little niggas fight until you can't fight no more. Ain't nobody there to be, ooh, oh, he knocked him out. He got his ass whooped. It wasn't none of that. It's and a lot of times some of the homies be like, cuz, like, Nate, I feel like this, cuz, and whoopie whooping. No, my nigga, I thought you was trying to front me. No, my nigga, I wasn't trying to front you. Oh shit, man. Perception.
Yep.
Sometimes we perceive things wrong, and when we have the opportunity to have a one-on-one conversation without the what you call them, the instigators and the agitators around us, a lot of time we don't even want to fight. So that concept of getting those youngsters together and letting them fight, that's going to reduce a lot of this wall banging, a lot of this internet banging, and a lot of this bullshit that's going on. Because if we on a yard and my little homie get into it with your little homie, what actions are we gonna take? We gonna say, oh man, we all about to crash out. No, nigga. If we can resolve it with them going inside the scullery, inside the kitchen and getting down, and I have done that myself. I done got down with two dudes and shit less than 15 minutes apart. He came in, I bop, boop, bop, bop. My eye, he got on. The other homie from within my card, he came in, and we had ourselves a old-fashioned fisticuff. You understand what I'm saying? But if
Yeah,
we
yeah.
it established peace, excuse me, not peace, respect. We had a new form of respect for one another because we engaged in a fisticuff. We ain't stab each other. We didn't hold grudges, no, none of that. So having fisticuff and physical altercations versus getting down with that blocker, that can resolve a lot of conflicts. But you have to do it in a structured and non-humiliating way.
Let me say this. Let me say this. Sunday Fun Day, right? You know Sunday Fun Day where everybody come out with the low riders
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yes, sir.
okay. So it's been a trend and everybody has like a mutual agreement, bruh. Last year or the year before, I was out there on and I don't mean to cut you off, brother, but I want to point out certain things that it can be done. We was on Crenshaw by the mortuary between Coliseum, I believe, and it's like borderline Harlem's and the Blackstones. And it was every single gang from LA, neighborhoods, Hoovers, Compton, Pyru, Bloods, my hood, every hood. Brother, no shooting
Salute to
happened.
Linwood.
Yeah, Angela's
No,
funeral home.
yeah, it was right there. I got it all on videotape. I posted on my Facebook page. Bro, the police ran everybody over. That's what they do. But it was a dude from 5 neighborhood. I ran into my boy No Brains from Block Crip. hugged him out there, seen all kind of 6-0s I know. They knew I was Springwood family or used to be or whatever, but I'm still tied into that if they want to view me as that because I was from over there and I'm somebody over there. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in the halls of YA, respected by, the other side. And a lot of people, even my own kind. And so they see me out there, even though they know I'm pushing peace, they still, I'm hugging these dudes and shaking heads and drinking with these guys and legend Crips out there. Even people that is active was out there. My point I'm making is
Yo, yo, what's
we
the
can
deal,
all get
godson?
we all could get together and be in harmony, bro. Because I seen it that night. You know what I'm saying? I seen it that night. Did nobody pop on anybody? No, none of that bullshit. Everybody kept respectful. Motherfuckers showed their side, showed their cards, knew who was what, and like, okay, y'all getting money. Shit, we getting money too. Let's have a good time. And everybody took their families and went home. And this is a big thing. So it's possible. Like I said, it's just, we gonna have to use these pillars in the community and start some structure. Big cartoon from Five Trey, you know, people need to tune into his channel, man. He had a message today, and I appreciated that message. And it's a start. The elders are fed up, bro. A lot of the elders are fed up,
They been
and
fed up.
right. And so they pushing this black thing. And so anyway, go ahead. I'll let somebody else get the floor. I just
No, no,
want to
no.
speak on that.
Continue. Continue,
That's it.
brother.
That's what I was speaking on. That's all I was saying.
No, you
Me,
lighting the mic on fire.
I wasn't in opposition to it. I'm saying that was an idea of mine in 2017. I introduced it to my little homies. They was with it. But an older representative from the Jordan Downs, he shot it down. He didn't think it'll work. It would have worked. It worked in prison. It works in other arenas and situations that we find ourselves in. But this is the thing. This brother Anthony Covington, man, I appreciate your continued support and your engagement, brother. Thank you. Anthony Covington say, my thing is, who do these members answer to? So these individuals that you was talking about, who do they answer to? Who are they working for? Are they working on the behalf of the hood? Or are they who they working for? Or who do they answer to? I want to know this, my brother. Because you said that it was the individuals.
Well, that's a little bit. We going real like in depth, and that's hella
We
cool.
got to. I
But I'm
don't
but
come
I'm
here to
I'm
stay
I'm,
on the
I'm, touch,
surface.
I'm speaking like it's okay. It's some things that
We
I
ain't got
that
to
I
say
don't.
specific names or nothing like
Okay,
that.
okay, yeah.
Not
I know
that.
that. I
Not
know
that.
that.
Yeah, not that, brother. Nah.
So I know that, right? But I mean, I have to use my section as an example because that shit is invaded in everybody's hood, and I believe that shit. And it's just people that all right. So it's certain people uh that people have love for, that they look up to, that have ulterior motives, that have influence over people, but the majority don't feel that way. So it's circles within neighborhoods that oppose the shit. Some of these niggas is like, some of these brothers, should I say, man, forgive me, I need to work on my vocabulary. Some of these brothers that's in these neighborhoods are undercover dope fiends, but they're functioning drug addicts, so they don't, you can't tell, and they got these ways that they influence certain people because they be loved, but they crooked. And so they have ulterior motives and agendas, and people push it for them because either they don't have the platforms to do it, and they behind the scenes, or they politically can't do it in front of everybody. But they got secret friendships with the other side, but they can't reveal their hands, so they keep shit up. You understand what I'm saying? It's like it's people behind the scenes that's doing stuff that some of these guys that's on these podcasts look up to or got love for or status. So if you can relate to that and understand what I'm saying, because everybody got them in their hood, then you get what I'm saying.
I look at things sometimes from a perspective of a revolutionist, right? Some of my beliefs aren't appropriate for the internet. So certain things that I censor myself and I don't say because it is revolutionary. And a lot of people don't have the comprehension level to process some of the things that I can say as it pertains to us as a people. So this is what I'm going to do. And I don't believe on just stand on the surface. We may not be able to get to the nitty gritty of the core, but we're going to go deep. Word is bond. We're going to go deep. Check this out. I pose the question. Who do these reputable individuals answer to? Who are they working for? You got to understand, one of the brothers just said the COINTELPRO #2. A lot of these reputable individuals in these sets that's opposed to peace, they're working for the grid. They're working for the United States government. They're being incentivized. They have a vested interest in us continually unaliving one another. See, it's an approach. Damn, I don't want to say that approach because it's too deep and it's too revolutionary. And I don't want the feds to start harassing me, you know, to the 10th degree and all that. They already done complicated my life. I'm not gonna get on here and say it right now, but I done already been on the forefront fighting these people, being at odds with these people because of the level of truth that I introduce to my people, and I can do it in an eloquent way to where people hear the things that I say and to paint a vivid picture of how we need to unify, how we are living in a state of our animalistic desires. We're not animals, but you said we are, correct?
Who said we animals?
I thought we had a private conversation, and I said something to the effect that we are, or something like that, and he was like, "We are," but the difference is that animals unalive for appetite, and we unalive for
No, 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 no.
emotions.
I said, what I said is, I said what I was using the references to. I don't think it applied to situation. Well, it can apply to situation, but I didn't say we're animals. What I said was,
That we're ruled by emotion.
beast is controlled by appetite, and man is ruled by his emotion, feelings.
Right, right.
Words shape the mind. And I can go into depth on that on a whole nother, episode or something. But
Go in
I
depth
mean,
right now, brother. There's no other time like the right
no,
now,
it's just
brother.
feelings. It's just feelings, bro. I mean,
Right.
it kind of ties into the games because all that shit is just emotional distorting. It's things that we a lot of people have. We in these gangs, suffer from a lot of mental health, trauma, and like codependency things, and seeking approval of others, and it all ties into feelings, bro. It all ties into emotion. I could say something right now, not this, don't take it literally, but I could diss somebody's neighborhood and they want to kill me because I hurt their feelings. And they take it as a sign of disrespect, but it goes to the root of feelings though, because I made you look bad and you make you feel bad. Or I could say something to make you love me, man. Like, oh, it's my
Yep.
dog, man. You know what I'm saying? It's my boy, man. He active, woo, woo, and make you want to, man, let's go hang out. Because of feelings, bro.
I'm
And
trying to
it just not
dissect that one. I'm trying to
it's
dissect
okay.
that one.
It's not even with that. We could take
I
a
don't think that one
non-affiliate.
is solely due to feelings. I think that has a lot to do with the indoctrination that evokes or bring forth a certain particular type of feelings.
Well,
It's
it's
the
all tied in.
indoctrination.
Watch this. Watch this. Let me break it down a little further. We could take a non-affiliate. Is the brother still on the phone, or did he
Yeah, I'm
leave?
here.
Yeah, he right there.
Okay.
He have to
Let
take
me
the
let me say
yeah.
something. Let me break it down a little further. If we I gotta use the right example. If I'm standing in front of you and I disrespect your family that's no longer here, how would you feel about that? I'm not saying I would do that. I'm just asking you a question.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got you. I wouldn't feel too good about that at all.
Right, right, right. Or if I seen you and I was like, brother, man, I like your Jordans, man. You got some nice Jordans. I like your car, man. You got taste, bro. Man, where can I go? How would you feel if I uplifted you and talk and spoke highly to you and admire things of you?
That's crazy when you said that because you said uplift, and that was the exact words that I was thinking about. I would
Okay,
feel good about based on the upliftment.
it's all based on emotions, man. It's all
Yeah.
feelings at the end
To
of
a
the day.
degree, but I believe indoctrination plays a major part in that.
I mean, you we
It's
I
some
could
dudes
agree.
that you can say, "Hey, man, that's a nice shirt." Nigga be like, "Man, what's wrong with this nigga? Is this nigga gay? Is this
Okay,
nigga
okay,
bigging on me?" Because
that's
he probably
fine.
come from a community to where men don't compliment other men in
Okay,
that fashion. So it has a
okay,
lot to do it has a lot to do with indoctrination. Even when
okay.
we
Watch
kids,
this.
go ahead.
Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. I gotta stand on my square. I gotta speak on this. It don't even have to particularly come from me. the whole thing is man is ruled by emotions and beast is controlled by appetite. It don't necessarily have to come from me. It could come from music. Man, I like that song. Well, why you like that song? Because it makes me feel good. It doesn't even have to. It doesn't even have to come from me. It could come from something else, but you still ruled by it. Even if your kids make you happy.
A man cannot be ruled by his emotions
No, but
because
that's our nature.
it
Why
prevents.
not?
Why is being ruled by emotions our nature?
Okay, once again, I'm gonna break it down to the simple decimal. All right. It could be many different subjects, brother, but it's still a ruler over us. We could talk about food. Why do you eat pizza? What is your favorite food?
I don't have a favorite food anymore,
Oh,
but it
okay.
used to be pizza and gumbo.
Okay, pizza and gumbo.
Hmm.
Which meal do you refer which meal would you prefer to eat? If okay, if not, well, if anything, you have a choice of different variety of food, right?
Hmm.
And it depends on your mood which one you want, right?
With me, it's different because I have a health condition, so you can't put me in that. You got to use somebody else or use yourself.
Okay, okay.
All right.
So what's your favorite color? I'm
My
just
favorite
making an
color,
example real
my
quick.
favorite color is red, but it's no emotions tied to that.
Why? Okay, but a favorite is tied to an emotion. I'm let me be quiet, man.
No,
I'm just saying,
continue, continue.
I'm just
I don't
saying
see red and be like, oh yeah, dude, it's red. Fucking radical. No,
it has
I
some
don't
sort
do
of
that.
emotional has some sort of emotional attraction or effect on you, regardless of what
It's
anybody say. It's and the reason why I'm basing this, I'm speaking on it because I studied it, right? And not only I studied it, but who planted in my mind and well, not planted in my mind, should I say, but who the person who I looked up to and got the knowledge from, and then went back on my own and broke it down to see if it was true and applied it in a lot of situations was the Honorable Elijah Fair. I mean, with the Honorable Farrakhan, Louis Farrakhan.
Now,
That's who.
okay. Now, Popeye, I agree with you to a certain extent, right? Now, the everyday person, like when walking down the street, that person is most likely will be ruled by their emotion, but only a certain selected people who rise above that and like got the wherewithal and the knowledge and the mental mind state to know that certain things can you can't be ruled by your emotions because the emotions can lie to you. The
Y'all,
emotions
okay,
can make you.
Wait, hold on, no, no,
you
let him
guys,
cook, let him cook.
okay,
He let
okay,
you cook,
okay,
let him
okay,
cook.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like the emotions can lie to you. Like you could assume something that what I mean you think is true, but it's not true, or there might be an optical illusion where the shadow of a tree look like a monster, so you think there's a monster outside, but really it's the tree. You know what I'm saying? That you had a certain emotion based on that, but you have to have like be more have a wherewithal to know like, okay, I need to study this and what's making me emotional, because at the everyday person, I say what's up. I'm real courteous and gracious to everybody that I meet, right?
Let me ask
But
you a
I can't.
question.
Go
Let me
ahead.
ask you a question. All right. You can apply this situation to damn near every you can apply this knowledge to every situation, right? And to some sort of degree, some peoples are stronger in certain areas than other. At the end of the day, it's in our DNA. Let me point another example out to
To
you
be
because you point
emotional,
out you got no okay, listen to what I'm saying. Just hear me out what I'm saying. Okay, for example, I could point many different ways and be like, see, that's the emotion. For example, right? You go to a funeral right now, bro. Right? Who do you love dearly in your life right now? Like dearly that you just like just your backbone or don't want to lose or whatever.
myself.
Okay. Well, I was talking to the brother actually
You got to be
on
specific. You asked a vague
Okay, so
question that
you
could have
saying
been
who
from
I
the
love
audience.
dearly, right?
I'm just showing different examples because I heard your example, but we not tying it into like female tendencies or nigga being emotional over disagreement with a homie. It applies to every situation. It's in our DNA. But yeah, who is in your life right now that if you got that phone call, it'll fuck you up?
Damn. It'd be like my mom's or my pops, you know.
Okay, okay. That's
Yeah.
because emotions right there. If you got a call and
Mhm.
you heard that they've unfortunately, God forbid anything ever happened to them, but
Mhm.
you got a call that something, happened, and unfortunately, if that happened, you would cry. You ever been to a
Yeah.
funeral and you start crying like, damn, man, because we're ruled by emotions, bro. It's certain different aspects, certain different situations that show you that.
Yeah, but are we supposed to be ruled by our emotions?
Hey, listen,
Is
Yeah,
that
because God
males,
created us
males,
God created us that
males,
way.
males are ruled by their emotion. Men are not. That's not saying that we are emotionless, that we don't have emotions. We don't
right?
let emotions rule us. Listen, homie, on PJ Cribbin, I'm gonna get to the nitty gritty, homie. I lost the person that I love the most in my life. That was my son. I was fucked up. I started on a path of self-destruction because I was emotional. Now, when I became logical in my thinking, yeah, you can't do that. You can't be this type of person. You can't engage in these type of activities because you still got more kids that you have to be a man and a provider and protector for. When I allowed logical thinking and I was pragmatic, it squashed my emotions to where I can think rational now, to where I can process the death, the passing of somebody that I love more than anybody in this life, homie.
Mm.
I could not allow my emotions to send me on a path of self-destruction. Listen to me. I love the effects of pot of cocaine. I love that shit. Love is an emotion.
I
But
heard that.
I would not allow it to rule over me to the point to where I'm getting my nose dirty. Now I'm ineffective as a man, a revolutionist, an activist, an advocate, and as a father. Men are not ruled by their emotion. Males are ruled by their emotions. And if I may quote Charleston White, he say that a man cannot be ruled by his emotions because it's dangerous. And this isn't verbatim. This is me paraphrasing what this brother said. He said a man can't be ruled by his emotions because outside at nighttime, that's when the predators come about and they looking for food. But if you rule by your emotions and controlled by your emotions, you would be incapable of providing for your family because you're afraid of what's out there in the dark. Now, logical thinking doesn't allow me to deal in fear because I'm thinking logical. Now, on a typical level, if we on some gang banging shit and we're not, I'm just giving you an analogy from a reformed gang member. Them niggas bleed like how we bleed. So why should I be afraid of them? Why should
Yeah.
I why should I allow my emotions to handicap me? Another brother that's on YouTube and all that, he said OG put them to the side and say, hey man, look at, and that was in prison. He said, look at this prison yard and tell me what you see. Oh, I see and he just started naming what he sees. He said, man, no. What I see is a lot of emotional ass niggas. I think he even called them bees that couldn't handle their emotions. They did some shit off of temporary emotion. A lot of people put permanent solutions to temporary emotions. You
Let me
feelings
ask you
make
this. Let me ask you this,
Mm.
brother. Let me ask you this, brother.
Oh, you
I'm
was
gonna just.
cooking, Bobby.
No, no, he was cooking, but let me just say this. Will either one of you guys tolerate disrespect?
it depends on what it is, Can folks.
No, no,
Sometimes
no, no.
Yeah.
Let's answer the question. Will you
it
tolerate
depends. No,
disrespect?
no, you
Because
can't get us like that. Cause
okay, I'm not
sometimes,
trying to. I'm not
sometimes,
trying to.
sometimes my old lady can come home from having a bad day and she can be disrespectful.
Right.
I have to tolerate it and understand it that she just went through something. I have to be understanding and envelope
Okay.
her in.
So even if you do tolerate it and don't react on it, how does it make you feel?
It depends on the situation, Ken. Folks,
Because
that's what I'm
man is
trying to tell
controlled
you.
by emotions. That's my
Okay.
point. You
But
don't even
Men
have
is
to
not.
act on it.
Boys are
Bobby ain't
controlled
saying
by
Act on
you
it.
emotions.
ain't having
Males are
emotions.
controlled by emotions.
You
We
don't
deal
even
with
have to.
emotion,
You don't.
but
You
a
don't even
man
have.
processes his emotions in a different fashion of a beta ass nigga. A
But
man
that still.
processes it.
But that still doesn't mean it doesn't affect you. That's what I'm saying. You're
That's not
ruled by it. It has an
spirit
effect on
wonder.
your
Did I
life.
not say that we deal with emotions?
Yeah, yeah,
Emotions.
that's what I was trying to say.
Come
Like
on, man.
Bobby ain't saying
It's
that you don't have emotions. Emotions is all part of the human experience.
If
Like
you're
you
an
know,
emotionless person,
but
if you're
we're
no,
not
no,
being
emotionless, you're
ruled
not a
by
person.
emotions.
Right, but we
When
are ruled
something
by
ruled,
because
yeah,
it
yeah.
has. Listen,
It's
listen. We
dangerous
are
when you
ruled
be
by it.
ruled by. It's
No, we are
dangerous when you be
we
ruled
rule
by your emotions, though.
we are ruled by emotions because it plays an everyday role in our life. That's what separates us from beasts. We're not ruled by appetite. We fast. We can do things they don't. Some of them eat their own babies. Us, we're ruled by emotions. That's what God separated us from beasts. It is what it is. It's true. I broke it
I
down.
still
I
disagree.
I
figured
mean,
out.
even
I
animals have
still
emotions
disagree.
too. You know,
Thank
there's
How do you know?
emotional support animals.
How do you know? Or how you just don't know that that's just their nature to defend?
what?
Okay.
No. I'm talking about like emotion, like embrace. Like when a dog comes up to you
And it
and,
sees you
start,
after you come
yeah,
home from work and that dog start doing like that and
jumping on
patting
you,
it up.
licking on you.
So that's not an
Yeah,
emotion. So when
But
you
I
leave and
but
your dog start pampering, panting, whatever they call it, when your dog start,
but he's not
and
ruled. But he's not ruled by that. He's ruled by
no,
appetite.
you
You
just
can feed.
asked this. No,
You
no, no,
can
no.
feed.
Pause. You just asked this brother. How do you know that animals have emotions, brother? Am I right or am I wrong? Did he not just
Okay,
ask you
okay.
that?
I may have
yeah,
got a little ahead of myself. I may have got a little ahead of myself. But
yeah.
what I meant was this. I'm glad you corrected me. What I meant was this. They're ruled by appetite. They're not ruled by emotions. We are. They're ruled by appetite. You can feed a dog right now and train them and do all type of have them jumping through hoops. You can even train a fucking bear or a lion to jump through a loop. A wild beast. All right,
But how
just by
how
feeding them.
come humans is not ruled by appetite? Because we are
We're
hungry.
not.
We are working to, get money, and so we can feed ourselves.
We're ruled by
And we won't
feelings.
do
Big
anything
Dev, I see you, big homie.
unless we,
We're,
do some, for pay, and our pay.
we're ruled by feelings. We're gonna eat regardless. We'll go out and kill and kill
Yeah,
for
that's first
food and
nature.
you know what I'm saying, and to go, grab something to eat and go fishing or whatever. But that we're ruled by feelings, bro. Because feelings cause a lot of wars and cause a lot of genocide. Feelings, emotions. Believe me, jealousy, women, it's all in the Bible. Feelings. It boils down to that. Whether we like it or not, we lost. And unfortunately, rest in peace to the homie son. You know
Rest in peace.
that moved me. I have a
Appreciate that.
feeling towards that because I know this brother, and that's what bring us together. People come to dinner, come over food for what? Because they love each other. Feelings.
That's not
You
true.
you 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 don't know
People
you
don't come
date.
over for food and congregate because they love each other. That's not true. Some people
Okay.
do it for social status.
Okay.
Mhm.
For the most part, why would a person, okay, are you you obviously you're attracted to women, you're attracted to beautiful women, right?
Yeah, you better believe that, partner. You shouldn't even
Okay,
ask no
that's
crazy shit
feelings.
like that.
That's no, but that's feelings, bro.
No, that's nature.
Okay.
Not
See
feelings,
what I'm
brother. That's
saying? So
nature.
it's nature, but what
Yeah.
is okay? So basically, look, don't take this the wrong way. So basically, we just fuck machines then because we just nature, right? We don't have no feelings towards it.
In the Bible, it says, be fruitful and multiply. Now that you just said that, now watch this. Now watch this, watch this, watch this, man.
Uh-oh.
When a man gets sexually involved with a woman, Big Davo, I got you right now, big homie, and I appreciate you coming on the platform. Women, when they're having sexual exchanges with men, their body produces chemicals that make them want to love. Men, when we get aroused, our body produces a chemical that makes us want to perform and fuck
Okay.
and get that
Okay.
nut and get on. Women
All right.
form bonds and attachments because of the chemical compounds that their bodies secrete during intimate sessions. I'm about to let Brother Davo in, man.
All right. All right. Go ahead.
Big bro.
Yo, what up? What up? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
we
We
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you.
All right. I think Popeye is making an overgeneralization. Like it's men and humans in this world that are cold, calculated, and have a Machiavellian type of mentality, and they're not led by emotions.
Righteous.
And then there's people on the opposite end that's impulsive and 100%, 98%, 95% led by emotions. So it's 6 billion, 7 billion humans. We can't just make an overgeneralization like that.
I like
So
that.
I'm gonna say
you know what I'm
this.
saying? So it's
I'm gonna say this, brother, and I appreciate you getting in there. And I really I love the fact that we
Freedom, where you
having this
go?
conversation. Wait, he left?
Yeah, but continue. Freedom, come back.
Nah, bring him back, bring him back. I'm respect
Now, Brother
the
Davo is right here.
podcast.
Oh, Frank Nitty, what's the deal? Hey, man, I've been waiting to have dialogue with you. Hey, listen, homie, this is profound, man. All praise be to the Most High God, man. Let's get into this conversation. And I'm about to bring. Oh, we got brother.
nah.
All right, we got.
Ooh,
It's my bro,
it's
Frank
getting
Nitty,
hot in
man.
here.
That's my homeboy, man. You know what I'm saying? Him and Big Dev. Those my that's my dogs right there, man.
I
What's
love it.
good,
Yes,
man?
sir. Yes, sir. What's the deal, fam? Y'all continue the conversation.
Nah,
Popeyes.
like it's true what I'm saying because in some sort of fashion, bro. Even if okay, you might have certain things down to a T, right, where you able to recognize, certain situations and in control of certain situations, but some sort of degree, there's some emotion that plays into your life and that you succumb to. Like when we all see a female, not all of us, but most of us see a female. What's the first thing that we are attracted to? Right? Answer that question.
The body,
When you
that the
okay,
looks, you know,
and
The
that's
body.
the first thing you see.
can we all agree on that? Can we all agree
But
on
if
that?
but if
Just
we
be
was
honest with
just
me.
if we was just
No, just
what
answer the
separates humans
question.
from
No, I apologize. I shouldn't
yeah,
have said it
bro.
like that.
But
Can you answer the
hold
question
on,
for me?
what separates humans from animals, bro, is our mind, our logic. If
Okay,
we were just animalistic and all 100% led by emotion, you just jump on that bitch like a gorilla.
okay. You
Mm.
said like a gorilla. Hold on. The only two species in this earth that have sex, not just to breed, but casual, is monkeys and humans.
Yeah, mammals.
Okay, everything else
We
breeds to
we
f- to have offspring. We the only two, so it really don't separate us on that note. What separate us is that,
I
like I
think
told you,
I think dolphins fuck for fun too though.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about that one.
Especially if they get that whatever that's in
They
it, whatever it
I
is in those
the
puffer fishes. When they do the
yeah
puffer
yeah
fishes, they get horny and just like the
yeah
fuck for
killer whale
recreation.
But we gonna get back to
yeah
when I
killer
posed this
whales.
question. When we look at women, right? Most of us, what is it? What attracts us to women? What I mean, if we was to ask and do a
Big
survey,
Devil,
it's a
bringing
reason why
Big
I'm
Devil
asking.
up too.
It's the reason why
From
I'm asking this
Linwood,
question.
Yeah. Shout out to Big Devil. Shout out to all my peoples from
I'm
Linwood, man.
gonna make this point real quick. I'm not gonna drag y'all on
I
with it.
agree with you, Popeye. I agree
Okay.
with
So
you,
so
Popeye.
so
But
so 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 we all agree that it's something about a woman that attracts us, right? Right? It attracts
it's
us,
called
right?
our biology. Humans is
Okay.
just humans
It's
is
our
more
nature.
complicated than just it's just
He,
emotion. We
he
got
say
logic, we got emotion, we got biology that pushes
but
us to
that's
reproduce.
but
And
that's not okay.
it's
Because see,
like
if
a
that's the case, then you'll be attracted to a woman that look like a pig, which you're not. You
Some
like
dudes
some
are
certain
though.
dudes
women.
is.
Some
Some
dudes
Okay,
dudes
but
is.
is.
hold on. Okay. But that's what I'm making a point of. That's what I'm making a point of right there. Y'all following me? So I prefer
We
petite
men
women. Hold on. I prefer petite women. I like good
uh,
looking young women. That's classy. Whatever. You guys like what you like, right? You guys are attracted
yeah.
to certain women, right? Because of
Right.
feelings. It's not a biology thing. It's about emotion. That's my
Well,
point.
No, it
nah.
is.
You
You
Some
can't.
bro.
No, it
sometimes
See,
is.
this is
It
the
sometimes it's
is,
thing.
by
bro.
some
The
It is,
nah.
verbiage
bro.
that
Because
you
you like
use, you said
you
that
you
men are rude, controlled
you
by
are. We
emotions.
are. We
No,
are
you
in
may
Nah.
certain
be, but I'm
aspects.
not. I mean, can
Okay,
we
If we
in
agree to
were
certain.
disagree? You may be ruled by emotions, but I am not.
Okay, I
yeah,
Flat out.
recognize that to some
it's built.
sort of form of degree, bro. We are. Whether somebody disrespects you, or it's attraction to a woman, or it's a color, or it's a food because you like the way it tastes, it all boils down to emotion at the end of the day. Whether, like I
If we
told you,
were
we like and
go
we
ahead.
dislike, and that's how we're ruled by that, whether we like it or not. Now, whether we conscious of what's going on at the moment, that separates us at that moment to be able to reason. But at the same time, you don't want to go do 100 years in prison. You don't like how it feels to be locked up. You don't. We're ruled by emotion, bro, and that's the point I'm making. I'm applying it to every situation to some sort of degree, but that's our nature. That's what it is. That's what separates us from bees.
Nah,
I got my animals.
different situations have different dynamics, bro.
I don't
That's
disagree.
that's why we have what we call the fight or flight response. If we were just led by emotions, well, people would
Papa,
just be
what?
on fight or flight hunt.
No, I
Huh?
apologize. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, we just be on go or
It,
we
it,
be on
it,
fight 100% of the time. Or flight. Humans are more complex than
okay,
just say, "Oh, we just
even if
led
you
by our
don't care,
emotions."
but
So
even if you don't care for a situation, somebody put a fofo mag to your face, how you gonna feel? It's all
that's
based on
biology,
feelings.
fight or flight.
It's all It's
Yeah.
all based on flight or fight. It's all based on feelings. Some people piss in their pants. I don't want to die. I got family. I love my kids. I love my dad. I love my mom. I love my freedom. It's all about feelings.
Survival instincts involve logic, bro. If it just
Okay, what about the
involved
person that
emotion,
don't
we
care?
be
But what
humanity
about the
would
person that don't care?
humanity would be extinct right now
But
if
what
we just
about
relied on emotion. We wouldn't
okay,
have
check game.
civilization
Right.
if we just
That's not
relied on
true.
emotion, bro.
That's
Yes,
not
it
true.
is. Yes, it
Because
is.
watch this,
Because logic,
You gotta
logic told our ancestors, nigga, we gotta pull up on this woolly mammoth 100 deep with spears. We can't be
okay.
emotional and just run up on them solo. That woolly mammoth go uh, stomp our ass out easy.
But why
We had to
are
use
they pulling up why
it
are they
took
pulling up
logic.
on that
It took
mammoth?
logic. It took logic because we needed the blubber for shelter and we needed the meat and
The
survival.
turf for warmth.
And why
Yeah,
are they trying to survive? Why are they trying to survive?
Oh,
because
Hold on, real
biological
quick.
instincts that are built into every species on this planet to survive. And
So 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 so
the
so
food chain.
okay, so
So
we're trying to survive
whatever was
because
given to mammals because we have larger brains than other mammals, even mammals that's bigger than us, but we're smaller, we're weaker, we're more
so
fragile.
so
We had to use our logic to use our logic in the Bronze Age and the Iron Age to manipulate
because
metal and make weapons and do
so
because we had to use logic, bro.
so
We
they
didn't have raw strength or raw size.
in a nutshell, in all a nutshell, basically this, right? So they attack the woolly mammoth so they can get blubber, so they can survive. And you
Mhm.
said it's a biological. Okay, now to survive, is that a want?
That's a need if you want
Necessity.
progeny.
It's a
If
necessity, like a motherfucker.
you got children, bro.
I got children.
Yeah. So that's a need.
Okay,
That
so these people love their children, right?
yeah. Well, some do,
Okay,
some don't.
okay. Some don't. Okay. But if you don't love yourself or if you don't care about yourself, then you commit suicide, right? Or you're not here, right? Or you don't
huh?
care, right? No,
Not
I'm
not
asking. I'm
all the
asking a
time.
question.
No, that's extreme, bro.
Some people
Okay,
don't
hold on,
love
hold on, hold on.
themselves. Some
I'm
people
getting
don't love
somewhere.
them. A lot of people in our community don't love themselves and they inflict harm on other people, not
Right.
So
themselves.
Hurt
so
people.
It's
Hurt
so
six.
people.
It's
so
six. It's 6 billion people on the planet, bro, and it's an infinite number of anything you can imagine is happening right now out in the world, or it has happened. So, we can't just pigeonhole humanity in we just led by emotion. We're
Okay,
one of the most complex
I
species on
check
the
game.
agree.
planet.
So check game. You got a lot of to all respect, all due respect to Islam, but you got a lot of Muslims in other countries that stand on business. And if you disrespect their religion or if they disagree with you, they have a lot of them. They have a lot, not everybody, but they believe in dying is justified
Yeah,
and it's based
jihad.
on
That's
emotions. They get
conditioning.
upset.
That's
They're
that. No, that's
upset.
conditioning.
That's
But
logical
that's a
conditioning that starts in
Yeah,
the
that's
brain,
that's not emotion, Ken folks.
and
That's
that's
that is
also
conditioning.
emotions.
that's
That
also
is
spiritual
emotion.
blackmail because they're told
But
if
it's
you die
based
for
on
this cause,
feelings.
you're gonna have 40 virgins when you
But,
get to
but
the
it's
other side.
but it's
So
all based exactly. It's that's they want something that's based on feelings. They want to have pleasure or whatever the case is. It's all based on emotion.
yeah, but that's
You
not
say,
the
yeah,
limit
I
of
pre.
religion. Religion started when humans didn't even know how to navigate. We thought when it rained it was a storm god. That was what we call Yahweh. So
Anytime.
we had limited knowledge and explanation of our surroundings, and we created these gods and these deities to explain the unexplained. Now this shit right here I'm driving on, this took logic and engineering to engineer this road and this highway.
Facts.
So it's multiple things at play, bro. Yeah,
But you like how you, but you like how,
there's a
that
there's a
car feel, right? You like how that car feel. You don't like
hell
walking in
nah. This straight
107
line to
degrees.
drive like a piece of shit, bro. I
You
like
know
the
what I'm saying?
AC though.
I'm saying if you had that Tesla, you like AC. You like AC. Feelings. At the end of the day,
No,
you
no.
don't
No, nigga,
listen.
that's biological. If I catch heat stroke, that's physiological, and I could die from that.
Well, okay, look,
That's
I tell
beyond
you
a
what.
feeling, bro.
I tell you what, I done
Look
hijacked
at
the
the
homie
temperature in
channel.
this motherfucker. If I sit in this truck with no AC, it's gonna be more than feelings.
Right.
The coroner ain't gonna show up when I'm dead and be like, oh, he died of feeling hot. Nah,
Right.
he's stroking this motherfucker.
Right.
I tell you what, I done hijacked the brother channel, and I'm gonna agree to disagree, and I'm gonna take a step back and let y'all
Nah,
talk.
it
I'm
ain't
gonna
a
talk with you
hijack.
now. No, I
It's a
did.
discussion.
But
Hey,
my
now
thing is,
continue by any means.
not
Continue, brother.
not because I disagree, but at the same time, I know you guys are strong on your guys' view, and I'm gonna respect it, but I know what I'm saying is true.
By
Because
evidence of what?
feelings,
By
by
evidence of what? Present some.
by everything around us, brother.
No,
Something makes you
no,
mad.
no.
Something on this earth
That's not
moves you.
factual, Ken, folks.
Okay, well then that means
We
you're
all, we
emotionalist.
all, no, that's not true. Some of us have this unique skill of navigating through our emotions, allowing our
I,
emotions to influence our sound decision. But I'm not ruled by emotions.
but that's
Ruled
our
by
nature.
emotion is no, it's not.
That's a
It
Ruled by
part of
is.
our nature. That's not the
It is
totality
our
of our nature.
nature.
It's
That's
not
what
the
God gave us
totality of our
feelings.
nature, bro.
Even
no,
in the
no,
beginning, when
no.
Moses supposed to was it Abraham which it was supposed to the God told him to sacrifice his son. He didn't want to do it. That was based on feeling. He didn't want to do that shit.
But did he
It's
Those
not?
it's
are
in our
Did he
nature.
not move to do it though?
But that didn't mean it didn't affect him.
those
Because
are
we ruled by
stories that
emotions. I'm not saying
those are
that you actually make your move. Because okay, you got three philosophers, right? Let's break it down. I'm not saying you make every move based on that, but
That's what
emotion
you're
play a
saying. No, no,
no
no,
no
no,
no
no,
no
no.
no no no.
Pause.
I said
No,
we're
no.
ruled. I
It
said
got to
we're
be some
ruled.
accountability.
Hold on.
If you're
I said
ruled
we're
off
ruled.
of emotions, that means that you base every decision off of emotions
No,
because
that's
you're
not
ruled.
what I'm
Oh
saying.
my Jesus.
That, no no no
Okay.
no no. See,
you
that's what
said
I'm
you
saying.
said we're ruled by emotion, Papa.
Okay.
Right, we
Okay.
are ruled by emotion. No. You see,
I'm
don't
I'm
try
a,
to
I'm
do
a, I'm
that.
a
Don't do
respectfully
that. Don't
bow
do
out.
that.
I'll throw my hands up on that one. Go
Look,
ahead.
look,
Continue,
look, look,
brother.
look, look, look,
Nah,
look.
let's keep
Because
going.
right. We're ruled. Okay, see, language is key. We're ruled by emotions, meaning it's our nature, right? It plays an aspect in every part of our life to a certain degree. All right, that's what I'm saying. Regardless of what you say, you eat food, certain food, because you like the way it smells. You might fuck with a broad because you like the way she look. You might fucking go hang out with the homies and sip beer, not because you like niggas, but because you like the feeling of being around the homies. It's feelings play a role in everything. Judges are persuaded sometimes by emotions because of their upbringing. People dance
You
in
just
church
said
because
sometimes, but if we're ruled by it,
okay,
that occurs all the time.
some sort of fashion
No,
that
no, no, no,
okay,
no,
okay,
no,
okay,
no. That
You
okay.
that's
It's
contradicting
all
I
good.
gotta.
yourself,
Yeah,
bro.
you
I
contradicting
Not
yourself,
I
Ken
contradicting
folks.
I would
myself.
This is a
I'm not
prime
yeah, you
example.
are
contradicting
Watch
because
this.
myself.
you said ruled, then you said sometimes.
You
I
no
would
no
say
no.
No, it
this,
See,
don't
bro.
work
okay,
like
I would
that.
say this. I would
it's
say
in
this,
us.
bro.
It's in us like our blood
It's
is in us. Put it that
it's
way.
six it's 6 billion people on the planet. Some people are more Machiavellian, strategic, and cold and calculated. A lot of
But
other people are.
everybody has a kinker in
Hold
their
on, bro.
armor, bro.
A lot,
Hold on, let him cook.
yeah, but a lot. Some other people, their emotions got them on a leash, walking in. Cold, calculated people, they got their emotions on the leash, walking their emotions. So it just depends. The world is too complicated and complex to just make this generalization you trying to make. I would say humans are like a pot of gumbo. We got emotion, we got biology, we have our logic up here, or we should, where we have the ability to be logical, and we have our fight or fly, or whatever, and then so it's multiple things at play. It's not just emotion. Never just been that. If that was the
All
case,
right.
if we were
I
just
want.
primarily emotionally led beings, we wouldn't be at the top of the food chain. We
I
wouldn't be
mean,
able
at
to
the at
I
the
want.
end
I
of the
want to
day,
manipulate this
highlight what the
earth.
brother just said right here. Check
I
out
want
what
to
the
say
brother just
something
said.
real quick
He
before you
said a
finish.
nigga mumbled slick shit at work. The emotional me would have crashed him. The logical let me know he's a fly on an ant's ass. The
Yeah,
emotional is I'm about to fuck up my job, and after that, I don't got a
yeah,
backup plan, but I'm about to fuck this nigga up. But the logical say,
yeah.
man, if I fuck this nigga up at work, man, then I lose my house, I lose my car, potentially my
I played
relationship. I
myself.
can't.
Yeah,
I
I
played
played myself.
myself.
Hold on. Can I chime in? But that still doesn't mean it didn't make them feel bad.
It's you're
Just
Of
because he didn't
course,
act
contradicting
on it.
yourself.
but
You
he,
said, man, I'm
yeah,
ruled by it.
Bro.
If I'm ruled by my
Popeye.
emotions, that means I'm about to crash this nigga out. I
Okay,
don't
see,
care what
y'all
the
taking the word
consequences.
rule. Y'all
You
taking the
You
said,
word
said
rule.
it. You said the word
bro,
rule.
Okay,
We
y'all
didn't.
take
You
bro,
it.
said it.
Didn't say the
bro,
word. I did say the
just
word.
cause bro still felt something about dude talking shit, he felt, then he went to his logic. What I just say, we're humans is like gumbo. We have the ability to think, feel. We got biological urges and needs and whatever, wants or whatever. It's not just feelings. If it was
But
just
I'm
feelings, he
saying,
would have crashed it.
I'm
But
not
he
Thank you.
saying.
felt that,
When
If
I
then
he
he
say
was
went to
rule,
ruled
logic.
or controlled by
when
his
I say
emotions, he would have crashed out.
when I say rule, bruh, it plays a role in everything in your life. I didn't say that you act on you act violent or anything on every single emotion, but emotions we are ruled by, meaning it has it affects us in some sort of fashion in everything in our life, regardless. The
Logic,
brothers on
logic,
hold on.
logic.
Hold on. So I'm
All
not
right.
talking about logic. Hold on, let me say something. The brother is passionate, right? About trying to uplift the community, right? And he's on a podcast speaking peace. Passion is a feeling. It's driving him right now. We are ruled by emotions,
But
regardless of what anybody say.
the
You
logic of
guys pick
seeing
a
the state
reason
of his
in certain
community led him to
situations.
that
All right.
passion.
Okay,
So
And
it
you
it
know
all
doesn't
what?
play.
matter. It's still a
It's like
feeling. That's the
ping
point
pong,
I'm making.
bro.
All right.
If I logically see my community fucked up, then that's gonna fuel my passion. It's like a
Listen,
car, bro. I can't drive with no wheels. I need suspension too, right? It's a system.
that's
It's not
fine.
just
That's fine.
emotion.
Look at when you get ruled by your emotions. Look at where it gets you. Look at the type.
Okay.
Look where it
Okay.
gets you. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? Look at the
like I
type of
said,
shit
it's
that
in
be
our
happening to brothers
DNA.
that's ruled by their emotions.
No, but it's in our DNA, bro. Regardless of anybody say anything, I get what you guys are saying. As far as to a certain degree, where okay, this situation I can recognize the situation. I'm not gonna act on my emotions, but that don't mean I don't feel some kind of way. I'm not gonna act on it. I'm gonna use logic. I'm a reason. I'm not gonna
So
move
you're
on emotions.
yeah.
Hold on. Let
So
me
you're
make my
not
point
ruled
because I
by it.
know. No. You are. It's in your DNA. You're ruled by it, homie. Regardless of the fact, it's in you. That's in you. But because okay, so you guys taking the language as ruled as like it controls every single thing. No, but
That's what
it
rule
has.
mean.
Okay, but
I would say,
it.
Popeye, I would say feelings are highly influential. But as you
Influential.
grow
We
older,
are influenced by them,
yeah.
not ruled and controlled, brother.
And then
We
we
are though.
and then we
We
aren't
are.
we're not ruled by it, bro. It's
Okay.
influential, hell yeah.
Hey,
Hell
I'm gonna
yeah.
tell you this.
But
I'm gonna tell you this. It's
you ever been
something.
around a family member that when y'all was young, they used to be able to push your buttons and say little shit that'll hurt your feelings? Now when they
Man,
come
listen.
around try to clown, they can't push your buttons, you just unfazed.
It's something.
It's
It's
just it's
something.
just about each individual and how often are you taking your mind and your brain to the gym and how often are you taking your feelings to the gym and exercising them.
It's something. It's
That determines how much an individual is led by their logic or their feelings.
okay. So I'm gonna just say this, right? It, I'm gonna agree to disagree. I know what I'm saying. I've seen it. Uh, I've kind of mastered the skill, and I don't know if y'all agree with me if this is a skill or not. But I kind of master a skill to rub people the wrong way. Not saying you guys, but I've understand it and I know how to fuck with it. And I see that people are ruled by it. Regardless, there's a way, and we can put it as biology, or logic or reason. But I know how to fuck with somebody's emotions
That's
to get
mental
them want to kill me.
manipulation.
Or you
That's
can
mental
call it whatever you
manipulation.
want it, but it's based off of feelings.
So you're
Okay.
intentionally
I'm not
provoking
intentionally
people, and
doing
no, no, no,
nothing.
no, 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 no. You just said that, brother. You
I
said you have
can,
this skill to do this, this, that, and third.
I
So
can.
you are a master. Well, you are a manipulator, a skilled manipulator who likes to play mind games to get a specific response out of people.
I can do that, but I know that that's because man is controlled by emotions. I know how to
No,
do that.
no,
Oh, it's
no.
very true. It's
You got
very
to
true.
speak from an individual standpoint. Oh, hold on, let me read this. While humans are undeniably influenced, the brother said that, and I said that as well. While humans are undeniably influenced by emotions, it is not accurate to say that they are ruled by them. Emotions play a significant role in decision making and behavior, but humans also possess the capacity for reason and logical thoughts and thinking. There's a complex there's a complex interplay between emotions and rational thought. Individuals can learn to manage their emotions and make more balanced decisions. A boy
Yeah.
is ruled by emotions, not a man.
Yeah, and the thing is,
So
if
okay.
you would say we ruled by anything, I would say choice. Motherfucker choose to be emotional and react emotional. That's why a motherfucker in jail they full of
I don't
regrets. Like,
I
damn,
don't I
I
don't
should have
agree
made a
with
better
that.
choice.
I
I
don't
should have
agree
made a
with
better.
that.
Then
I don't agree with that
after
because
they get tired of making the same impulsive, emotional ass decisions, they wise up and then they start making more logical decisions.
let me ask
So
you this.
that's how it
Have you been
happens
to
a
a
lot
lot
of
of
times.
funerals? Have you been to a lot of funerals, brother? And I'm not being funny. I'm asking you a serious
Yeah,
question.
but that's like asking, that's like a climax. That's like an emotional climax
Okay, but
type of event.
it's a feeling. Okay, so
Yeah,
have you been to a funeral and have you ever been moved to tears when you try not to cry? You like, man, I got this, and then something just moved in you where whether you seen other family members crying and you just felt the
of
energy and you
course.
like, man, I miss this person, man, and I can't hold it no more. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So. At some sort of fashion, man, we are ruled by emotions, but sometimes you
No,
said, no,
influence, not
hold
rule,
on.
brother.
You know, y'all not
Hold
letting me
on.
land. None of y'all let me
All right,
land,
all
bro.
right.
See, the brother
Go ahead,
said it's a
Popeye.
choice. The
Go
brother
ahead.
said something about a choice, but
No,
I'm debunking the choice
okay.
by
Go.
saying
No.
some
Okay.
emotions are uncontrollable, and it's because that's what we're ruled by. But people gonna say what they want to say. But like I said, he says it's a choice.
Funerals
I
where I
think,
didn't cry because I chose not to. So
but it's
like I said,
okay.
humans are complex. One situation doesn't cover isn't an umbrella for every other situation, bro.
Why it's
You
not?
know? So
Why isn't it?
because every situation is different, every situation is unique.
I
So
I I don't agree.
you you could be
I don't
led
agree.
by you. You don't think every situation is unique, and then you using an extreme
I
example like the loss of human life.
I
When
mean,
you ever
that's
get
a universal law.
down
We all gonna
bad,
experience that some way somehow. We all got people we love.
but you ever okay, like when you job hunt, you using logic, right? Let me get this resume right. Let me get this right. Let me get my interview closed right. So that's a situation where you got to use logic. So like I said, we have humans are a mix of logic, emotion, biology, instinct from our ancestors or whatever, curiosity, all type of different shit, bro. We're not just ruled by emotion, and then each person is unique and different. So one person could be more emotionally driven. Like they say, women are more emotional because they have hormonal mood swings because they cycle and shit like that.
Man,
And
listen,
then
what I
us,
prefer,
you
what I
know,
prefer.
men could.
I don't know if you guys can hear me.
But we can hear you.
You kind of
What I
breaking up.
prefer what I prefer is this, right? Just use self-awareness. If you driving today in the car and somebody cuts you off, see if you get upset. If you go somewhere later on the day and you see a woman or something, you like, damn, you turn your head like, damn, baby look good. Just know all that's tied into emotions, bro. At the end of the day, whether
You
you
drop.
act on it or not,
And
it has some sort
it's
of
all tied into logic too. Because
okay.
if I
All
get
right.
pissed off because somebody cut me off, emotionally I might want
That's
to
a
ram this
feeling
motherfucking
though.
truck into it.
That's
But
a
I don't.
feeling. It's a feeling. But
But
that's what I'm
no, I
saying though.
logically no, me not doing it is logic. It's
Okay.
not feeling.
So that's the first
Like
thing that
let me
happens
not
to
fuck
you. That's
like bro's example in the comment. Let me not fuck up my
logic,
job. Some days
logic
people
ain't
cut
the
me off
first
and I don't even care.
logic ain't the first thing
Like
that come
okay,
to
you got
mind.
it, bro.
Logic ain't the first thing that come to
Shit,
mind. Feelings is. No, feelings
shit.
is. And then
I
you
bet
said
it.
that you use
Shit, I
logic.
bet it
No, all
is.
right. Oh, okay. Well, okay. All right. No problem. It's a process of chain. It's a chain reaction. It's a process. It's a chain process in your brain. First thing is feelings, and the
Hey,
rest of
it
it, then
depends.
you might. It goes for every aspect of
I
life.
agree.
But so that's
It's
what
a
I'm saying. That's
I
why we
it
rule
de-
by it.
the the sequence of events depends on the situation. Some days people cut me off and flying, motherfucker in a Mustang flying, trying to, and we bumper to bumper. Some days I just laugh at you, like, you dumbass.
But
Days
even
I
if
be
you laugh,
pissed off because I'm trying to get
that's an
somewhere.
emotion.
It
That's a
depends.
feeling. That's a feeling. But it's good. I mean, at the end of the day, man, I don't want to hijack the brother channel. I think we all had a good discussion on that. I don't want to hijack my brother channel, but I'm gonna agree to disagree, and I'm gonna stand firm on my belief
You
system.
still wrong. You're still wrong. That's a
Well,
major indicator.
but I'm gonna tell you something. Yeah. But I
Hold
love you,
on, hold on,
brother.
hold on,
As a
hold on, hold
brother,
on, hold on.
I love you. I love you as a
Love you
brother.
as well. We got brother Dupree in here, and he's gonna, you know what I mean? He's gonna brother Dupree.
What's the deal, family?
Peace and blessings, brother.
Peace and blessings to you and everybody else here.
Peace
What's
and
the
blessings,
deal?
brother.
Are men ruled by emotions?
Yes, of course, to a
Thank
certain
you.
He
extent.
said humanity.
See that's that gray area. In the
No, it's
Bible, it
not.
say
It's
be
not a
hot or be
great.
cold, for if you're lukewarm, I should spit you out of my mouth. You can't
No.
say that to a degree. It's either you're
Oh,
ruled by it
okay,
or you're
okay.
not ruled by it.
I'm gonna tell you where the degree is. The degree comes in when you still ingest it, whether you spit it out your mouth or not. You tried it.
Right.
You see, so one is a cause and one is an effect. So one is a learned behavior and one is taught like unknowingly. One is taught by
Right.
your survival, by this. That's your logic. Your logic is your first response. So if a person says, yeah, your first response is a taught behavior. So what you had to do was learn how to respond differently.
And you
So
agree with this, Popeye?
now your
I'm
logic has
listening to the brothers
changed.
making sense.
Now your logic has changed. You see what I'm saying? And so what I was saying was the trauma is not just passed down genetically. The trauma is passed down by the way we're taught in our home, the way we're taught to perceive things. Like if my mama was a punk, I never see her trip off a certain, like what we call slick talk or sly. You talking sly or sideways out your mouth, right? So I wouldn't catch that. But if I was in a situation where most of the things you said, I took it like it was a defense mode because I was raised in a home where I was always belittled and this and that. It's a cause and effect. So now I'm teaching my child how to protect themselves. Everything we're speaking on is a survival tactic. It's not really evolution or evolving in who you are. It's like you making it bigger than what it is.
We can even take it back to when you're a baby. What does babies do? They cry, right? That's how they communicate off
I didn't
emotion.
already said that boys are controlled, ruled by their emotion. Men are not.
But it's
Right.
in our
The
nature.
brother gave the
Right. The
That's what
mature
we were
me
born
is
with.
not. The mature me is the man that didn't like the guy said, I didn't beat this guy up at work based on I had to say, hey, but the old me, the boy me was the guy that would have crashed out. But the man me have learned different logic, different even different structures, different what do you call them? Like different way to problem solve,
Hey,
different
so let me ask this
solutions.
question. Okay. If the first thing that happens to you in a situation is a feeling, and then after that feeling is processed, oh, I don't like this, or I don't want this happen, or I think this is not the right way to react to it, then what is that?
I have a
What is
saying that
that?
says feeling is life. That's the main goal. So that's what you should control, either how you feel or how you allow yourself to make the next person feel, because
Which
that is how you know you're alive.
which all boils down to feelings,
Well,
emotions.
everything
that
does.
doesn't mean
Feelings
that you
is
ruled by them.
something
Yeah,
about
yeah,
This
those
brother said,
you're
this brother
ruled
said
by
that when
feelings.
you
You should be. If you're not, you're narcissistic. That mean that you have no feelings, no control, and no output of feelings.
right.
I just
That's when
seen
the
dudes
common.
who are
That's
ruled
when the common
by
sense is.
feelings and emotions, and it's always to their detriment. I have seen guys who acknowledge that they have emotions, process them, and come with a sound decision, make a sound decision, make an informed decision is always to their benefit. But
Right.
if we're
Because
ruled
of
by,
what?
wait, pause.
Because of healing, brother.
If we're ruled by emotion, there's no logical thinking. This
Right.
brother gave another brother an analogy and said that if a person cut you off in traffic, the first thing that you will respond with is what?
The curse word.
Popeye? The first
You
thing.
obviously you be upset.
Okay, you respond with
Or
you respond with emotions, right? Now this brother right here, brother Dupree, said that when something happened, your first response is something that you have been conditioned to respond with. That ain't true.
How not?
That's a contradiction in between y'all, and y'all didn't came on here and agree with each other, but that's a
That's not
major
a
contradiction.
contradiction. based on
If somebody cut you or if somebody starts shooting right now, boom, bam, 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 boom, boom, and we don't expect it, what is our first emotion?
my first emotion is to run, right? But if I have been in that situation before, my emotion has also been to defend and reflect.
Come on, we ain't being real now.
It's also
Even veterans, even police, when they hear shots fired, the first thing that you do is get in a position of cover, and then you return fire.
But that doesn't mean they don't feel that. That doesn't mean they don't have a sort of feeling.
I remember when I was a kid. I remember when I was a kid before the peace treaty, right? I was like 6 years old, right? There was a war going on, you know what I'm saying, in Watts, and I was in the Nixon Gardens at my auntie house. They had a kid party, so we was walking the rest of the kids because it was getting late from one side to the other. Gunshots start going off. We didn't see where they was coming from, but my first instinct was to jump on my cousins. I was the biggest one there. I jumped on my cousins. I didn't run. I protected them. I didn't try to protect myself.
And that wasn't an emotion?
It was a response.
Wait.
Yes, I was
so
scared.
You saying you covered?
Scared is emotion.
Let's be specific with the verbiage. So when you said you jumped on them, you ain't jumped on them for safety. You jumped on to cover them for their safety.
For their safety and mine. Get down.
Just want to make sure we on the right frequency.
Right, because get down is something that was taught to us as a kid.
Obviously, he loved them
in a high violent area where the shooting was going on, and sometimes you had to get down in the tub, get down on the floor, so you don't get hit with these bullets. It was happening like that.
You do that because you care about your life, right?
No, because I'm taught. I mean, shit.
You taught that, but
I've been shot 3 times, family. So that don't apply to me.
I mean, fear is the universal language anyway. So
no, fear and anxiety
that's a feeling.
can sometimes be misconstrued with each other. They can be
him. The action of him covering his loved ones was a biological instinct.
Yeah,
either take fight or flight. He chose to fight to protect his loved ones. So
yeah, but how I knew how to protect them was taught.
Yeah.
So if not, I would have just been stuck. So I would have responded and wanted to protect them, but I wouldn't have knew how. So I knew get down.
And even sometimes there's trained cops. Cartoon was talking about this in Birmingham. They were sitting standing in line at the convenience store, and the shootout happened outside. They didn't fight. They took flight. They ducked down or whatever. So what I'm saying is, it's biological instinct. You chose to fight. So even sometimes when people are trained to do something, that biological instinct is when it happened. You either gonna fight or flight. You chose to fight.
Yeah, but shit, if logic would tell me if I fought before, right? Mm-hmm. I might not fight this time because I ain't got the same weaponry I would have fought with that time. So logic telling me to get on. Logic is something learned. It's not common sense.
Right. What I'm saying is you were taught how to duck down in the bathtub logically, but fight or flight is something biological.
That wasn't when it happens at that time. That was my mother saying, get in the bathroom. And my logic said, follow my mother's directions.
I'm saying it's a combination of things, bro. So your biological fight or flight instinct kicks in situations like that, regardless, with all of us. So we don't get to logically choose what happens and when shit like that happens. Biologically.
Right. Both of y'all was right. So you defending what you defending, you just argumentative. You're going to go back to talking in circles again.
First time on here, man.
What's up, family?
Hey, salute the Big Devil. Big Devil, what's the deal?
Yo, man, just cooling, man. Sitting there. Sitting back, man, watching everybody's dialogue about logic and, you know what I mean? We can agree to disagree.
Righteous.
Just taking it all in, you know what I'm saying?
Righteous. Right. Popeye still wrong.
Hey, that's fine. I'm fine. I'm fine with that.
To a degree, brother Dupree still wrong too.
I think it's a combination of things.
I'm saying it's not no right or wrong. I don't think neither one of them is right or wrong. I think they coincide and coexist with each other.
That's the duality of life.
Yeah, it's just like factors. A book.
What you say?
Like it's just like a book. Every page have a different story. So You know, he right on this page, the other brother right on that page, he right on his page. You just
Well, let
gotta
me
read
ask
the
this
book in its
question.
entirety.
Let me ask this question. Since we all brothers and we all on this phone, how the hell can we curb this gang violence? How can we start uplifting our community? How can each one of us
Healing,
influence our community?
healing.
Community.
Conflict resolution.
Well, I tell you
Coupled in
one
with
thing,
healing. You need healing because a
we
lot
gotta
of us are
clear
still dealing with past trauma. Go ahead, Big Devil.
we gotta clean up your own backyard.
Exactly.
Right? I can't come over your house and then tell you how to run your house if my backyard dirty.
Mm,
Exactly.
So therefore
That's
we
right.
gotta clean up our own. You know what I'm saying? We gotta
That's
lead our
right.
own little homies. We gotta show our own little homies how to stand down. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know, gang banging is reality. So I can't tell a 15-year-old brother who just lost his homeboy not to retaliate. But what
right.
you can do is tell them that if you get caught, it's consequences. So if you
Got
ain't
you.
willing to deal with those
Right.
consequences, don't pull that trigger.
Righteous.
Right.
So you just gotta
Conflict
be you just gotta be truthful with them. You know what I'm saying? And they gonna respect that. You know what I'm
Righteous.
saying? And you gotta lead by example too. Cause I
I,
can't
I,
put no gun in nobody's hand to do nothing that I ain't gonna do.
I think it's. I think. And I'm gonna keep it real, right? You know me, I'm the conspiracy guy. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like this. I feel like systematically they have a lot of us as Americans, not just us, right? But we're in a time where we're being conditioned to be angry, to be high in anxiety, to be ready to fight and gun ho, and everybody's like this. If you're not strong enough mentally, you will unalive yourself. We're like at the top of that. Like, since you know what I'm saying, it's crazy what's really going on. So right now, I don't think that we can eradicate any gangbang or anything else that has any kind of violent background to it, because you know that's the frequency that's being pushed out. You see what I'm saying? To keep us at a high level of anxiety and ready to fight. It's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? And we
So you
should be.
so you so you saying let it run its course?
No. Well, gangbang being ran this course. Only thing niggas got to do is just stop. What's so hard?
Uh,
You see what it is that since a lot of us haven't placed ourselves on different platforms and succeeded, we don't even like a lot of us, right? And it's not to offend anybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm speaking of all of us in general. We were all losers at that game. There was no winners. So for you to act like you winning at the game because you're the most destructive, it's kind of like stupid.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah, I feel you on that one
So
for
so
real.
if we realize this, only thing you gotta do is just stop. It shouldn't even matter if I said cuz, blood, groove, pyru, you know what I'm saying? If I dissed, if I said this, if I said that, like it's kind of like you're looking for a fight, and that's just the fight that you gonna get. It doesn't even matter if it was different fashions or not, because everybody messed with each other to a certain extent.
I think resources is something else too. Resources. You know what
Oh,
I'm saying?
that's different. That's an economical
Conflict
and,
yeah,
resolution.
and
That's another thing.
community thing. That's not a gang banging thing. That's something to
we
help
just
But it
everybody.
plays a factor.
Well,
so
Huh?
gang banging is in
gang
gang banging
It
is in the
plays a
community.
factor. And if we're gonna start talking about gangs, the original gangs in America were
We're not
created.
talking about that though.
For resources.
We
Purpose.
talking about gangs. What you mean we ain't
Original
talking
Crips and
about that?
Bloods
We're
was
talking
created
about
for
gangs.
resource
And the
purposes.
brother said that we gotta have resources. We have to have resources. Gangs was created to protect their community and gain resources.
Oh, okay, why is it so hard for us to at least pick a leader and say who's the family that leads every fashion and have a table to sit down at so we can be that type of gangster?
We don't
Why
have a
haven't
because
lot of
it's
we?
qualified. We
always
don't have a lot of
yeah,
qualified leaders. And then it's too
right,
many chiefs and not enough Indians.
Indians.
A
Facts.
lot
So
of our
right,
people are not fit to lead. And that's
so
just is
right,
what it is.
Facts.
so we're
true.
not talking about
Mm-hmm.
the same structure organization. So let's not compare the two.
What you mean? You
I'm
expound
saying
upon
I'm
that.
saying gang banging is not pushing us in no type of political power like that type of like the Italian mafia and all them
He's
like what
talking
they
about
did is not doing that for us. And then they kind of lost along the way and had to join the regime.
You just digress, brother. Forgive me. You just digress. This brother said something about resources, so on and so forth, and you equivocated and digressed and filibustered and went somewhere else. We were talking about resources, and you said that that's socio something community, whatever. But I said
that's community and economics is what I said. That doesn't have anything to do
But
with
right.
game.
And
I rebutted and responded and said that we need those. We need that. The original game was formed to protect the people and to secure resources.
Right.
Exactly.
No. This is before them. This is going back to the 17 and 1800s with the dead rabbits in the four corners. When the Polish was coming over here, they was in what they call ghettos. They didn't have resources, so they start fighting with the American-born white folks. The American-born white folks start beating them up because they was coming to take their jobs, their resources, and their land. So they said we got to protect ourselves from these motherfucking American-born white folks. So we gonna call ourselves this. And then American-born white folks said, we're going to call ourselves the Four Corners, the Dead Rabbits. So what we're going to do, we're going to leverage our relationship with this Polish mayor because he's one of our people. And that's what gangs was created off of lack of resources.
It gained political structure, right?
Righteous.
So why did I digress by saying we are not compared to that? Our gang system is not compared to that whatsoever because it has not had that type of resolution at all from Tookie all the way up to now.
You can't say that, brother.
He basically saying
we got the spook hunters that was coming into our community and unaliving people. Then we also righteous, and then we was also fighting for equal housing when they had redlining and all this shit going on. The white people's foreign gangs came into Watts, came into South Central. They were beating us. They were trying to take our resources, burn our houses. And we said, no, fuck that. If they the spook hunters, we the spook hunters. You couldn't even come across Alameda, can't folks come on, especially when they took all those warehouses jobs and sent them to China and sent them to Mexico and created instant poverty in our communities.
Lack of resources started a lot of this stuff. Lack of resources pushed a lot of this stuff. Let's keep it 100 though.
I think bro is just saying
ain't none of us on this table seeing that shit from the OG to me respectfully.
But you can't say that it didn't happen, and you can't say that it wasn't incorporated in our original forming of gangs.
I said that it didn't equate to political power. Before you come in and stop me, I said it did not create any political power for the Black American.
Are you just saying, bro?
So when you're talking about the Irish, when you're talking about the Polish, when you're talking about those gangs like you were talking about and referring to us with, you feel what I'm saying? They eventually had to go with the ranks and they call themselves white now to get their political power.
You basically saying we had a street gang level and they had an organized.
I'm saying even at a high gang level or a low gang level, if you can't have an army, you can't have I'm telling you.
I agree with that.
Wait, no, pause. But does not an army need resources? Does not an army need resources?
Yeah, you're right. You both right. Both of you guys right.
I'm not saying that you're not right. I'm just saying that we can't. Only thing I said was we can't compare what they did with what we did because 40 years have went by and we just fighting each other.
But we still need resources though. That's still
how you don't have resources. All the millionaires and all these
resources. Let's keep it 100.
But you said resources don't matter. At first, initially, you said resources don't matter.
That's
was
not what I
else.
said. I said that's not a gang banging issue. Don't throw no words in my mouth.
How could resources not be a gang banging issue?
Why is that a gang-bang issue instead of a community issue is what I'm saying.
So let's break down resources.
Who the fuck is the Bloods? Who the fuck is the Hoovers? Who the fuck are y'all? Who the fuck are you? What kind of power you got to move? We've been doing this shit for a long time. Niggas been rich off of drugs and everything else. Niggas, I'm telling you, man, when you evolve away from the game, when you evolved away from the same thing that they taught you to do, the actions, you're creating your own lane. Everything you do is you're the only one do it in the hood.
There was a lot of equivocating and filibustering. You initially said, no, word is bond. That don't work for me. That was a lot of equivocating and filibustering, trying to highlight and aggressively present it as such, so we can be like, you know what, that makes sense.
No, because you're still telling me that the Crips and the Bloods matter when it comes to economical power.
Hell yeah, they do. We're at the bottom of an economic. In order to have an effective economy, somebody has to be the low people. We're the low people. We're the biggest consumers.
And that's
Right.
We
You're
may not.
right about that.
One big thing is the lack of resources. Let's just keep it a
Listen.
buck.
Listen. And if we're gonna keep it a buck, man, that's on Steve-O. Hear me out.
Yeah.
As y'all know, I'm from PJ Watt's Crip.
Right.
Empiricor's housing projects. They use the image of our hood in the island side that spoke green to put in GTA. GTA made billions of dollars. So you can't say that we don't generate money. We just don't tap into the money that we generate. But being a Crip and being a Blood is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
So why not? Why all the Crips ain't pushed up there like a Million Man March in the Bloods? Crip push up there and say, hey, and get some lawyers together because there's some rich Crips and rich Bloods and get the likeness of it. Then
that is
stop
going back to
playing with
conditioning,
me, man.
That is going back to conditioning. It's going back to conditioning. But you can't say that we don't this, that, and third. When in the actuality we do. We just let people come and put us against each other and exploit us
as the people, but not as fashions. They just use that as a mechanic. As long as we have different fashions, we will be separated. We will have a lean on any type of aggression that I have to, and I will see a difference in you just because you're not rocking the same way I'm rocking.
What do you consider a different faction, like different hoods and tribes?
Say it again.
What do you consider a faction? Different factions? Are you talking about hoods, tribes, cliques?
Yeah, and above. Like if you could do it from Crip to Blood subject or from hood to hood subject.
I disagree with that. Are you specifically talking about blacks? This is specific only to us, or is it a generalization?
When we talk, this is a system.
If it's a system and it's a generalization, then you can't say that because the Mexicans, they have factions, they have hoods, they have cliques, but they are achieving.
All right, now listen what I'm saying. When we go to jail, right? Let's just say it like this, right? When we go to jail, La Raza kick in, not nothing else. When we go to jail, not only am I a Crip, but I'm because I'm from PJs too. You feel me? If they didn't know, you feel what I'm saying?
Righteous.
Now I'm from the Hub and the Dub, and then it's a gangster card, and then it's on top of that it's a Damu card, and then on top of that, you see what I'm saying? So at one point, we have to collectively do something. So if I say, let's take the gangs out of it, and I'm saying it's not a gang problem, it's a community problem, it brings everybody in one accord. Because if I say gangbangers, now I got to go talk to 100 people. Man, let me get the Crip. Make sure the Crip's good. Make sure the Blood's good. Make sure the people that really don't give a fuck about life give a fuck. Because we hope that all gangbangers have evolved into who we are.
It is still going to need resources.
Politics too.
And then when you get a hold of those resources.
Yeah, but our politics ain't government politics, legislation, and all that shit. We ain't doing that.
But I'm saying they get policy and they get grants and loans. What we get? You see what I'm saying? That goes down to resources too. That goes down to resources too.
We can build our own resources. We got enough money to just put it in the pot.
Because they people be up there. You see, it's a lot, man. It's a lot to it. But I mean, that goes back to resources.
If you care about your community, you're gonna reach back with your resources that you obtain, and you're gonna grab your little homies and pull them out of that situation.
Yes, sir.
I really do believe at one point we gotta don't worry about what it look like, because it's something new. Don't worry about what it's gonna look like. Just throw the money in, nigga.
Hey, we got another brother that I'm about to add to the chat. I'm not familiar with who this individual is, but if he start talking reckless, I'll get him out of here. But I want to give him my opportunity. What's the deal, brother? Or is that a sister?
Nah, I'm a nigga for sure.
Oh, my bad. I couldn't see the picture. I apologize.
Yeah.
What's the deal?
Now, you a black nigga or other nigga? Because we just had this conversation.
Hey, I'm that nigga make your ass kick me off this show, nigga. Ugly ass boy. But yeah, I wanted to add on to the dialogue though on some real shit. You know, when you got trash like Maxine Waters and all that kind of bullshit in office, and been, you know, pretty much she built the prison systems out there. She filled them up for them crackers. So they definitely want to keep her in pocket. You know what I'm saying? Because she's the gatekeeper to their success. You know what I'm saying? You got the old mammy fatigue, blackface. You know what I'm saying? Get all the Negroes to feel sorry and weak and buckle down. You know what I'm saying? and at the same time she up there preaching this peace and all this old bullshit. She's sending all these niggas and Mexicans, you know what I'm saying, to the chain gang. Big Dev, what up, cuz?
What up? What up?
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? That's the real problem with LA. Maxine Waters, she the one fucked LA over and been she been the real reason for the past, I say almost about 40 years now, about 50, 40, 45 years now. She been the real reason LA is the way it is right now.
And it's not just her. Yeah, I think a lot of the people after Dr. King died, was unalived. A lot of
Who's that,
them.
Ronnie?
Yeah.
I was supposed to say, what you know?
Yeah, you know, hey, look, they don't know, you know what I'm saying?
No,
Yeah,
y'all got
Let's
it.
keep it politics, man. I make these niggas
Yeah,
cry up here.
yeah.
We know that's what we want.
This
If
what
you
we
have
here
that
for.
intellectual ability, we
Yeah.
want to see that. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't water it down or debilitate it when it comes to us. Because just like you can bring that fire, brother, we're very capable of doing the same thing. So give it to us raw. Come on, listen, homie. Give it to us raw and uncut, and we're gonna return the favor.
That's what we do here.
That's all I'm saying, brother.
This called a healing circle.
Oh,
this
for
is what
sure.
we need.
For sure.
He right about the politicians though. That's what I was getting. That's what I was relating to. You see what I'm saying?
Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you like this, homie.
Like that. You see what I'm saying? And look,
I believe my homie as well, but we know Maxine Waters on several different levels, not just on a professional level.
Right.
We know Maxine Waters. We know the atrocities. We know I'm not gonna say too much because this shit gets deep.
Yeah.
This shit gets so. Listen, homie, I done lost homies over this shit.
Yeah.
Doing the
using our
inception.
platform.
Come on, homie. During the inception of the peace treaties, certain dudes that wasn't with it, then they mysteriously either self-destruct or got up out of there. This shit is deep. We familiar with this shit, homie. I'm super duper familiar with it. But listen, like I say, where you from? Chicago or Memphis?
Chicago, my third home. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Georgia. I moved to LA.
God
then, you
damn,
know what I'm saying? I went from
you's a
LA to
traveling
DC,
man.
Chicago. Yeah, I'm a cross country.
You got a lot of insight. That's good though, because
I can
I'm
dig
really
it.
from New York. You know what I'm saying?
But insightful, brother.
That's good.
Insightful, brother. Don't water it down or debilitate it or filter it when it comes here. Because this is what we need and this is what we want to reciprocate, brother. But you know, give it to us, man.
Hey, for sure, man. You know, when I really look back and I see how, you know, she came to power, what really got me with her was when she was out there with these illegal aliens. And when I seen her out there getting the door slammed in her face and all that shit, and she up there running up them steps, she wasn't running.
You there?
She was running for future votes. She wasn't running for, you know what I'm saying, the problem of the bullshit that's going on. She was running up there to protect these future voters, you know, coming in illegally who gonna have kids and they go have kids and they go have kids. Like she been selling us out for quite some time, man. You know what I'm saying? Damn near half a century she been selling us out.
That census too. Don't forget that census. They want them on that census because they classify as white. Let's not forget.
That's why they let them come over. You gotta think about it. That's why they let all the illegal aliens come over, because they believe in a white God. Long as they can perpetrate a white Jesus or a white type of God, a Catholic, whatever the fuck, long as they can keep somebody weak-minded that believe in them images, and they'll continue to let them come over like that, because they can continue to play over, you know what I'm saying, to play overseas games on them. See what I'm saying?
I think sometimes, not to cut you off, OG, but I think sometimes us being especially me, any other person, because I don't know your background, that come from a street type of a background, right? Or poverty or anything like that, that chose to go with the resources that they do give us, which we know what that is. That's destruction, right?
Right.
We was putting our life on the line and our freedom on the line for that paper. So the things that she decided to do didn't seem so radical to her because it was about that paper. You looking at it like it was about, like, you know what I'm saying? Like following the white man into this, to that. No, they realized that it's about that paper. And if you're gonna allow these people to do it, why be so mad when I do it?
Exactly. And then you gotta think about this. California got more prisons than any state. You know what I'm saying, out here. And you know, now they constantly building them. And as long as she in office, they go continue to fill them up, because these kids ain't going to juvenile hall or YDC or whatever y'all call it. They ain't going out there to rehabilitate them. They going out there to make them even harden the criminals. You know what I'm saying? Future or future massacres. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to really look at what's going on inside the prisons. What's going on? What's the deal to where it's a pipeline that deep? You know what I'm
It's the
saying? In California.
13th Amendment, bro. Been going on since our people was emancipated in 1865 to say slavery is abolished unless you found guilty of a crime. So
Uh-huh.
you get into a prison, especially if it's private, and private, they got shareholders and stockholders. They need to keep on and keep happy. So they they get free or cheap labor, and then that
I'm
incentivizes
glad
them
y'all
to
brought
Our
that
attorney
up. I'm
general, the
glad
attorney
y'all
general
brought that
invests in
up.
prisons.
Attorney
Check out
General.
whenever
Bro.
you get a chance, check out Geo Group. Pam
Yeah.
Bondi, the attorney general, invests in prison. See, how is that not a conflict of interest? Come
Yeah,
on.
I could buy prison stock right now on Robinhood.
It's not about that. We don't run away from, because that's money. But don't run away from the amendment part of it, because these are about
I
to
did.
change. So what they're saying is that the born here citizen is supposed to be with something that was made for and only strictly for slaves and freedmen.
That's the 14th Amendment, bro. I was referring to
Right,
the 13th Amendment.
right,
I think it's where's our
right.
reparations at?
They
Where's our
both
reparations?
coincide with each other.
Oh yeah, of course they do. But the 13th hasn't been addressed politically, from what I've seen. It's just
It
birthright citizenship because people gotta Trump is putting his foot down on that. Where people been running this scam for decades, which the Democrats have supported. Also, Maxine Waters, where people can come over here and drop a baby, then that baby. See, like Dewan B said, people like when you tell people, oh, these immigrants, illegal immigrants, been getting free health care, free this, free that for the past 40, 50 years, people say, oh, you lying. How they get that free shit if they are illegal? You go through
it
the
was part of a
kid.
stimulus
You
package.
put it in the kid. They put it in the kid's name. So that's a
No, no,
part of
no.
that's a part of the scam they run. They have kids, and then the kid through the kid's name they get free health care and all that other type of stuff.
Yeah.
Food stamps.
Ever since I can remember going out to LA, and then as I got older, you know what I'm saying, just dealing with chicks and shit like that when I moved out there and started living out there and everything. I've been going there. I've been out of Cali since '88. I started to really realize like majority of the fine women you see out there, they're married on the low to an African or a Mexican or some type of foreign or something like that. That's how they be coming up.
Yeah, but that was a scam back then, though, right?
It's still, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It still is now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that ain't gonna
Nah,
stop.
you can't just marry somebody now. Nah, they tighten it
Well, I
up
mean,
on
they
that.
just changed that last year. I mean,
Yeah,
that law just came in last year.
yeah, the
They've been working
process
that.
They better
changed.
stop this dual citizenship shit because a lot of these politicians got to see. We gotta, you know what I mean? They talk about this birthright stuff. Where's the reparations? And you know what I'm saying? What's up with this citizenship shit? See, there's a lot of shit that you know what I mean that we gotta really, really, really unpack when it comes out of this stuff. Because a lot of this shit, a lot of this stuff be symbolism. Let's just keep it funky from the Democrats and the Republicans. It don't matter.
Right.
It's to appease us. You feel me? So I'm a conspiracy cat my damn self. You know what I'm saying? And I keep it 100. That's what my channel's about. You see what I'm saying? And most people politics and current events. You see what I'm saying? But I mean, this is a great dialogue. And see, this is how this shit start by us having conversations like this, not that goofy ass shit that we be seeing on YouTube. You see what I'm saying? And I'm loving it, man.
Yeah, don't get off your land first before you switch over.
I mean, that's what it's all about, man. It's so it's a lot of different things when it comes down to this. You see what I'm saying? We got to really unpack. Where's the reparations? You see what I'm saying? A lot of this stuff we all know. You see what I'm saying? A lot of this should be snake oil salesman type shit. We can't trust any of these politicians because they use our plight and stuff like that, but don't want to give us stuff.
They don't want to give you exactly. And then dig this right here. Think about that though. Old ass Maxine been in there this long, and she don't think black folks need reparation.
Okay, now
she ain't made it her business. She ain't made it her business now one time to bring that up, and then on top of that,
she don't care. She don't care.
She don't give a damn because she's stuffing her pocket through the private prison. But then check it out too though. That faggot ass.
Suffering in our ignorance is her personal reparation.
Hey, how
can I
about
ask a
how about
question?
Kamala Harris?
Wait, hold
Gonna
on.
bring
Let,
up
let, 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 let
reparations.
the brother let the brother land real quick. He's saying some profound shit. Go ahead, brother. What's your name?
It's Cinderoni TV.
Cinderoni TV.
Mhm. Kamala Harris waited to the last couple of hours to vote to bring up reparations. Talking about like on her, I'm talking about on the last, like I think it was like an hour or two left to vote when they was getting out everybody together, rallying up, everybody was panicking and shit. She came out and said, "I'm gonna get the bill done for reparations." I'm like, what? You would say that right now at the end? I'm talking about at the your last breath is saying that when it's too late.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like that's how the cracker crumble with this, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we
Can,
gotta
Sending all this damn money to Ukraine. They sending all these monies
li-
foreign,
li-
you know,
oh
it's the
man,
money,
hey,
it's the
that
money
be
funding
funny.
the
This shit
operation.
crazy.
Really?
Before we go too far into it, can I just ask a question? Because I just want to just hear y'all respond on it. Right?
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
I remember Tupac, right? The late great Tupac, rest in peace. You feel me? He had this thing where he was like the kids, you know, first you're gonna come and then you're gonna be asking, hey, I need something to eat, I need something to eat. Then you're gonna start singing, then you're gonna start yelling, and eventually you're gonna start knocking the door down, right? So we've been knocking down the door for a long time since they've been saying, hey, put your straps up, you know, put yourself up by your own bootstraps, right? And nowadays, even when Tupac said that, they weren't millionaires and billionaires. So we have people like Jay-Z, Kanye, Kim K, all these people that seem to represent the culture and the things of that nature. Why haven't we changed the doors that we're knocking on when we're
They
speaking of
Because
reparations?
of
Because we're
meritorious
not in that
manumission.
same
yeah.
position. Why
It,
aren't we knocking on
It's
the
meritorious
doors?
manumission, bro.
hey, and then think about this too. You know, you got
It,
Kanye West. He done did so much to where even if he do speak the truth, they gonna look at him like a nut job. You see what I'm saying? So it's like we we gotta break the chains of what we've been told for the past, you know, 100 and some plus years, man. You know what I'm saying? There shouldn't be no way that this amount of black folks still voting for the same party that's been you know, shitting on them like right in their face.
Right.
One thing about Joe Biden, that bullshit that they did that last 4 years, man, if that didn't show you these crackers don't give a damn about niggas, man, I don't know what else you need to see. You know what I'm saying? If that wasn't some of the worst type of legislation and political shit that I ever seen, and you know what I mean, like realistically, they played on Trump to make him seem like the racist when they voted the racist motherfucker in.
Facts.
With Biden. You
True.
know what I'm saying? Biden,
Facts.
the only one that got video footage. You can look up video footage of him calling blacks monkeys, and
Monkeys. Right.
he ain't going. He don't want his kids going. When it was integration time, he didn't want his kids going to the zoo. All this kind of shit. This is
yeah,
publicly documented shit, and they still voted for
he
that
was
piece of
against
shit cracker.
integration.
Yeah, like he was like
I
he was
don't
Gandhi.
understand, what does that have to do with me becoming a successful, let's just say, for instance, that I was a pimp. You
Right.
feel me? And I was a pimp from let's just say off of whatever street you can just name off of, but I come from South Central LA, whatever, any kind of
Yeah,
place of power.
you in
And
LA, you
I make
Figaro,
$1 million,
Long Beach, all
a
that
billion
shit. Yeah.
off of these prostitutes. Where, at least where I put this at, I don't put no type of foundation there for the women who don't, to combat against the women who don't want to be prostitutes.
Well, the whole thing about that is California made a law. You know what I'm saying? Well, I remember when I left the state, they put in a law where hoes could hoe and not get harassed.
If the
Right.
You know what I'm
power to the
saying?
people,
They
not to
took the
cut you
law.
off, OG, if we want the power to turn to the people, every time I ask you for a solution, you tell me what law has been changed. If we gonna change the power to the people like we talking about, what the people want to do. Now, what resolution
Oh,
and
I mean,
solution do you have for these problems that we have in our community?
if you speaking on action, it's gonna take a collective. It'll never be just one person unless he going in blowing up something.
I'm
From
bringing
the
So
brother
pimp all the
JB. I'm
way
bringing
to
in brother JB. What's
And
going on
collective
television?
ideas too.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Y'all can hear me?
Man,
yo,
hear
that
you,
shit
sir. How
loud
you
as a
doing, BJ?
motherfucker.
Oh,
that
that
first one
music
was kind of
all right.
low. Then he came back with the
Yeah.
He
reboot.
must have had the phone way up here,
Hey, what's up, big brother?
Hey, what's going on with y'all, Joe?
Oh
What's
man,
up,
we
bro?
just, it's a think tank, man. You know what I mean? We enjoying brotherhood and fellowshipping, man. This camaraderie is much needed, and this conversation is much needed as well, man.
Man, nothing like a good conversation, man. Talking about good shit, man.
Righteous.
What y'all got,
Hell
man?
yeah.
What's up? What y'all got on the table right now, man?
I was asking why haven't we knocked on a different door, and why haven't from the pimp all the way up to the drug dealer, all the way up to the rapper to the NBA have solved this reparation problem by now?
That's
Individualism.
That's because the squares is still the black squares is still Democrats. They still got mammy fatigue. As
Righteous.
long as you still crossing up black women to hate black men, but to
Right.
pretend like they you know what I'm saying, to put this illusion, like, you know what I'm saying, like that's what they want, when they knowing that the government giving them all them benefits to put a nigga down. Like, you got to recognize the type of society we in. You know what I'm saying? So when you bring up the you know, the pimp, the dope dealer, you know what I'm saying, the rapper, you bringing up a lot of egomaniacs too. You know what I'm saying? And egomaniac never submit to no soft rat who ain't gonna die for what they believe in. The
Oh,
streets shed blood. Squares go to
that's what I'm
get
saying.
jobs and shit. You might get in a car wreck or something, but you ain't supposed to get killed at your job, at your 9 to 5. You can get
Look how the
killed on the block.
blaxploitation films. Look how that shit affected
Yeah.
that pimping
And that's what I'm saying.
that
Why
shit
aren't we
took a lot of
building these safe havens right
Listen.
here?
You seen the Rodney King riots. You seen the riots in 19 in Watson in the 60s in Detroit and in DC and all that. We seen black folks come together and get justice. Now, what we ain't seen is us going to where we need to go to. If you can tear down your community with no problem, but you ain't going to City Hall, you ain't going to the White House, you ain't going to the Pentagon with these problems, you ain't going to the courthouse where they make these laws to fuck us over. That's where it places that need to be with the protests and everything. That's where they need to be at. They don't need to be burning down they don't need to be burning down their neighborhoods or burning down stores. They need to be at a place where these motherfuckers go see, hear, and do something about it.
We don't own shit. We might as well burn it. Let me not even go there.
Not
You
not
know
I'm
what
a
we
not
little bit
your
need?
of
You
a
know what we
neighborhood
rapper.
need?
though. That's
Excuse
what
me.
We
I'm
need our own
saying. What
political
I'm
party.
saying
That's
is
what we need. We need to
take it
form
to
our
City
own
Hall.
political party, bro.
What
Right.
what I'm saying is
And
take
on top
take
of that, I'm saying this. What I'm really doing is not pointing the finger at them for my solution. I'm pointing the finger in the mirror and saying, what can my community and what comes out of my community do to help my community?
the community too divided. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to pick.
Exactly. Now
You
you
got
catching
to,
up
you
with
know what I'm
us.
saying? Like, listen, as long as you know that Democrat mind still going on with black folks, man, it'll never be a strong chain to break, because they go constantly be in a fear tactic. Man, these motherfuckers scared of Trump like he Godzilla or some shit, man. This a regular white dude, man,
Look,
with
Hey,
money.
I'm gonna
look,
say this. Hey, I've been quiet for a minute. Who is that? Jay Beezy?
Nah, I was
no, that's
being
me.
So
Look.
quiet, man. I'm
I
just
want to
listening.
I want to say this real quick, right?
Mhm.
There's no real revolution without bloodshed.
Hello.
Facts.
We ain't give Nat Turner ain't give a fuck about them abolishing slavery. He
That
said, "I'm gonna be proactive. Fuck that. What I want, I'm taking." See, a lot of us don't have that Nat Turner spirit. And if you know about the
mm-hmm.
Nat Turner theory, he said, "Everybody come here," because he was a preacher. Everybody come here. Who want freedom? Everybody raise their hand, right? He say, "Who's willing to do anything to get freedom?" Only a selected few raise their hands. He said, "All right, if you want freedom, now turn around and kill those motherfuckers who didn't raise their hand. That's agreeing to do anything to get our freedom."
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of co-opted, corrupted, on the take motherfuckers in our ranks. Right now, they call them intervention and prevention workers. I'm not saying all intervention and prevention workers are co-opted, but some of them are working on the behalf of the United States government. Until we get in a point to where we're willing to sacrifice and get these cancerous individuals up out of our ranks, we ain't gonna be able to accomplish shit.
I
If we hold on, just one more thing, and I'm about
okay.
to land. If we was a cohesive unit, if we were all functioning the way that us as black people are supposed to be functioning, we wouldn't give a fuck about reparations, because the money that we can generate as being a unified people, being proactive instead of reactive, it'll outweigh that bullshit that any amount of money that they can give us if we was a cohesive group. And I rest my
Mm-hmm.
case. Go ahead, do your thing.
Trillions of dollars is
That's a
all I was
fact.
about to say, right?
We
And
spend a
then on
year.
top, because like you said, Nat Turner, using that reference, because this where my mind was going with it when we was talking about the jury thing, but I had to bounce back and get back into it. Don't go too radical. What I'm saying is, the whole paperwork thing that we do in prison, right? How you got somebody designated to when he come into this spot and he part of us, we check that paperwork. You feel me? So when we over here and we at these places where you getting all this high fashion stuff at, when you getting all these fly cars, whether they use or brand news, when you getting all your jury at in our city, we right there facts checking. Nigga, what have you done for your community? How is your household? What's really going on with you? You should have paperwork on these things. Nigga, you got your shit together?
Mhm. Hey, I'm gonna
What you
tell you
doing
something.
here? Oh yeah,
I'm gonna
let me
tell you
tap
something
them
else real
pockets.
about
We
Nat Turner.
snatching chains. I don't care if you're a rapper, whoever you is. What you doing? Is you giving? Why? How you still got money for in this? No.
With Nat Turner was so cold when he started seeing them out because they started killing innocent black folks after that after all that shit was going down with him. When he started seeing them black folks getting innocently killed like that, he went and turned himself in. You know, understand what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like on some real shit like that, just so they'll stop, harming other innocent slaves and stuff like that, or people they catch. Because once they started, his massacre and everything, they started just killing black folks at will. You know what I'm saying? And so, but we got to thank Nat Turner, because if it weren't for Nat Turner and them Seminoles down there in Florida and Georgia and all that,
Right.
that's what crunk up the Civil War. You
Which
know what
was
I'm
the
saying?
first black Mexicans, by the way.
Yeah, that's what crunk up the Civil War. You know what I'm
No, the
saying? So
Seminoles settled in Mexico along the border and fought the Apache for the Mexico.
no,
Okay.
no.
After the
Seminoles they came from Florida and Georgia,
after the
Right.
and
Trail of Tears, they
they
settled in
fought all
Mexico.
the
They
way to
still there.
Texas,
They still there
down
right
there
now
to the
today.
Alamo.
Right.
They ain't going nowhere. They still right there today.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
and
first
then
the
see,
first black
but
Mexicans, first ones is the Afro Mexicans.
when you get on the
But
topic
look,
of this whole
that's how the government went down there and got that little land down there and made Texas a
I done
whole
already
state
bust
like
they
that,
head
because
earlier.
they was chasing them Seminoles from Florida and Georgia. They was chasing them all the way through Texas. And once they escaped to Mexico, they wanted them so bad they started a war for the land because they
well,
wouldn't give them up.
Tejas was Mexico. Thing about it is when the white settlers came, they tried to bring slaves with them, and Mexico told them, y'all can't do that. We don't have no slavery here. Mexicans, and then with that part of that world at that time, any black people that made it to that border, across that border, was free, and the slavers couldn't chase you across that border with threats of death. I did a whole video on this, dog.
You got to
But
think
on some
about
real, dog, man, when it comes to the whole reparations thing, shit, man.
the
Keep it
Mex-
400.
From our own political party. That's
the
what we do.
Mexicans down that way got pushed out of America. That's how they got there in the first place. That's why they wasn't going for that slave shit. You understand what I'm saying? If
Now,
people don't realize,
Thank you.
people
Say it
don't
again. They got
realize
pushed
a
down from
Mexican
they
where?
abolished
is nothing
slavery
but
30. They
a
abolished
native.
slavery 30 years before the United States. They had
The
been got rid of
first
slavery.
Mexicans got pushed down from where, OG?
People they from the North
Oh,
Americas,
okay.
like people don't realize that a
The original
Mexican ain't nothing but a
Mexicans come from
Spaniard and
Tenochtitlan land,
a
dog.
North American native mix.
The
So
original Mexicans come from Tenochtitlan land. Even the
yeah, the
natives that
original
lived in
Mexicans look like you. The
California,
original Mexicans black like us.
the natives that lived
There we
That's
go.
in
what I'm saying.
California, the
Yeah,
native Americans lived in Colorado, Nevada,
all
They
them
call them
just
Utah.
like with
Seminoles,
them Asians
You had
which
other
came
native
after them.
tribes. You had other native
the
tribes
Asians
going
and
all through there.
Arabs.
They wasn't necessarily Mexicans. Mexicans government was actually oppressing a lot of those native tribes. That's why it was easy for America to come in and do what they did.
That's
Because
true.
the Mexican government unfortunately, the Aztec people have a history of fighting with their neighbors, and they always catch them and bite them in the ass in the end. Right now, today, Mexican gangs beef with all other ethnic groups.
Yeah,
Asian boys,
those
black.
Aztecs were really barbarians. You understand what I'm saying? Just
I
like the
wouldn't call them
Vikings and all that
barbarians,
shit.
man. I don't believe everything the devil say
Yeah,
about them. I know they was doing some
cave dwellers
warring.
too.
They was doing some sacrificing and all that, but
Yeah.
they wasn't no different than the other tribes that was doing their thing in the plains and throughout this part of the world with the Bible called Azarus. Point is, when it comes to that, it was none of white people business because they was killing each other up in Europe and nobody went over there and conquered anything. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They was doing their thing over there because they love to say, well, the Native Americans were committing atrocities against each other. Shut the fuck up. That ain't none of your business. You know what I'm saying? On some real shit, dog. But when it comes to
And they was
reparations,
calling
though,
everything Native Americans in a propaganda form. everything that wasn't white.
Well, you know, that's with the Trail of Tears and everything. You know that, you know what I'm saying. That's how they cross us up with
Well,
the
you know, they
reparation
switched it up
shit.
and they started calling a lot
Now
of
that's
Native
exactly how
Americans
you
that
got
were.
crossed out reparation, because with the Trail of Tears, they were sending off a lot. They were sending off the natives, but they were sending off black too. But then the natives that they didn't want to send off, like the stronger natives and shit like that, that they kept for themselves, they listed them as Negroes.
Shout out to my guy
That's why your
Bobby.
grandparents and your great grandparents always try to tell you that it was they mama, they great grandmama was an Indian or somewhere down that
Right.
line or something. Like
Right.
everybody go hear that. That's up to
But
you. You know what I'm saying?
we had showed
Man, when
where
you
back in the
deal with people
1950s.
like Chief John, when you deal with people like Chief John Horse and Wildcat and all them cats up in the Seminoles, them was straight up brothers. Them was straight up
Yeah.
brothers.
See,
The
Hollywood changed them colors of them people,
but you
and
had
made them like
black slaves that got with the natives and they merged and they formed one unit together and they
Yeah.
became
Hollywood
During the
changed the
war and the
color and
revolution
made them
and
people
all that, he
red
was a
when
black
they
guy
really was
too.
black.
yeah. And they
You understand what I'm
classified
saying?
a lot of Native Americans as
That's-
black so they could cut them out of getting any kind of
they cut. That's how they
benefit.
cut them out.
No
That's how you
ties
got
to the land.
That's
That's how they took our birthright.
That's how you got that
Hey, yo,
$5
Bobby. Hey, yo,
Indian.
Bobby. Yeah,
That's where
gotta go,
that
man.
$5 Indian come from.
All right, love you,
I
brother.
appreciate
Just
everybody
go
here,
up
man.
and
Love you too, family.
They
Hey,
was
hey, a lot.
listing natives
Hey,
as Negroes.
a lot of the red Indians was with that too. You know why? Because the five
That's how they got the
so-called civilized
casinos.
tribes, the five so-called civilized tribes owned us as slaves as well. So
Yeah, you had
that's
the
they had an alliance. They had an alliance with the Confederacy.
The Choctaw sued the United States government for reparations after losing the Civil War and losing their slave. A lot of the Confederates got reparations when they lost us as slaves. Quiet is kept. The government paid them when
Slave owners. It was like
Well,
insurance claim,
you know,
a property
a lot of
loss.
people don't realize. A lot of people don't realize that South America has always been the rebuilding of the Nazis and the Confederate.
Are you talking about Argentina?
When the Civil War came,
Oh, you talking about World War
real
II?
rich white
World War
folks,
II,
they left the South and went to South
Argentina.
America. If you go to like South Brazil and places like that, you go see Confederate flags, because that's where they built a whole new land.
They got
just like with Hitler, when they got through, Hitler wasn't really killed in the World War. They hopped on the submarine, went to Argentina, then he went up there to Antarctica, over there to Greenland.
And a couple of other Nazis escaped. They got hold. They kids there down there.
South America is their headquarters.
They speak nothing but German down there.
They did a whole ethnic cleansing in Argentina.
Yeah, they got one of the most ethnically cleansed countries in the
South America, period, like that. Like they don't like
Peru is dark.
What they'll try to
Peru
do is
they'll try to
Colombia
is dark as fuck.
put the black folks in a smaller section.
They don't show us those parts of those countries, but them Colombia, Venezuela, Peru, you go to Brazil in particular. Motherfucker, dog.
Brazil,
South America, South America, they killing dark skinned South Americans.
Brazil is the most melanated, carbonated place in the Western Hemisphere. Brazil is 54%
black people outside of Africa.
But the thing about it is that's propaganda. The blacks in South Africa ain't getting murdered like that, man. They deeper than the other ones. They're not getting killed like that. South America.
Talking about Brazil.
South America. Excuse me, but no, they got. Trust me.
Police brutality is bad in the favelas in Brazil.
Hey, they under white supremacy. They under white supremacy, just like Central America, Mexico. Everybody trying to kiss the white man ass. But the thing about it is that ain't destroying the birth population of the brothers. We still deep down there.
No, ain't nothing go destroy. Ain't nothing go destroy the birth population.
All through that. They're not gonna never. They're gonna never be able to kill us all. They can beef and have issues all they want.
Can't nothing destroy.
But you got plenty of Colombians and Peruvians and Venezuelans that know if it wasn't for Haiti, they wouldn't be free. Right. You understand? So a lot of them ain't got. And Haiti is in all of that. Haitians is going through all of that we talking about. Haiti is through all of that.
They was over here too, but see, people don't understand how close Africa and South America really is. Right. That shit damn near like Alaska and Russia, but you'll never know because the maps got it all fucked up. You understand what I'm saying? You know how close Russia is to Alaska. If anybody looks at the map to see how close Russia is to Alaska, that's damn near. It might be just a few hundred miles more, but it's damn near the same distance.
A Russia from Alaska is about the same distance from LA to Lancaster.
And that's what I'm trying to tell you. From South America to Africa, on a real map, they that close.
That's
how they
about
was
90
able to-
miles though. From
It ain't that close. It ain't that
from
close,
Lancaster
bro.
to LA, that's about 90 miles, 80 to 90 miles.
What I'm
But
saying
the
is
thing
from
is,
South
the Gulf Stream, the Gulf Stream of
America,
Yeah,
from the tip of South America.
Right.
the thing
That's
about
what I
it
was
is the
about to
Gulf
say.
Stream,
Africa,
the Gulf Stream will
I'm
bring you
saying
right
it's
from
about
the west
400-500
coast of
miles at
Africa
most.
directly in the Gulf of Mexico. It's a stream that'll bring you right here real fast with no wind.
Or South America. I think that's what he's talking about
From
because it
South
ain't that
America
close.
to Africa.
I mean, the Gulf,
from the coast of Brazil and all
the
that
northern
kind of
part
shit
of
right
South
around there,
America is the
Peru
Gulf.
and all-
So
from
the Gulf Stream
from
will
the
bring
coast
you
of
right
South
there.
Africa
It's a
to
current that
Africa,
pulls the boats
it's
right
about
into that,
400
right
miles,
in
man.
there.
It ain't that far.
No, it ain't that far. But the thing is, like I said, the Gulf Stream will just bring you right here. And they've been
Yeah,
knowing about the Gulf Stream for centuries.
But that's how I'm getting at how they flooded all them Africans like that at a certain amount of pace. And you can't, I ain't gonna say you can't get from South Carolina to Africa, but it's a whole longer and deadlier travel. You got to go through South America, then just roll up the coast up. You know what I'm saying? And that's how that's how the trade really went down. They wasn't really getting them like they was getting them from Haiti. They was getting them from them Caribbean islands. That's where they was getting all them slaves from like that. That's where America was getting them slaves from. You know what I'm saying?
Taínos was the first to go on the slave ships before us.
A lot of us in North America was already here.
North America was the last to get Africans. So
they didn't get them on as big a level as everybody else.
Yeah, they didn't get them on a bigger level as South
But a lot
America.
of us died coming here though. More of us died coming here than probably anywhere else.
Well, it
was already black folks over here.
Over,
There's already niggas here. Because all the Native Americans.
North America wasn't the last.
The original Choctaws are melanated, carbonated people. Their identity
Blackfoot,
was stolen.
All of them was dark as fuck. When Christopher Columbus got here, he brought Hebrew interpreters. He did that for a reason. He knew this land was called Azareth. This place is spoken about in the scriptures, dog. This stuff ain't no secret except to people that ain't doing no real reading.
Really doing no research.
It all matches up like a big puzzle, but it takes time to put it together.
The Choctaws and all them
people,
and that's what I was trying to tell you when I was speaking in the beginning.
10 more minutes,
you speaking on Choctaws and all that. I'm trying to tell you that this government mixed that up to make them Negro. You see what I'm saying? Like,
wait, what you mean to make them Negroes?
Like this is what I'm trying to tell you. Check
okay,
this out.
they switched their identity.
They switched their identity.
They said, no, nigga, you ain't gonna be a Choctaw. These Asiatic individuals that migrated from Siberia, we gonna name them Choctaw and our people Choctaw. They give them a right to the land, and we gonna call you Negroes.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Because you got that by you not being native, you don't have no natural right to the land.
And
at the same time, you have white folks. You have white folks being declared Native American for $5.
$5 Indian.
Yeah,
that's why you meet a white person and they be like, "I'm Native American."
That came from Native and
indigenous. It's two different things.
That's how the white folks got. That's how the white folks came up like that. They came up real big off of that because the government after the Civil War, they started issuing out land. And so if you was a native and everything, they was going to help you just like they was helping the slaves, allegedly, you know what I'm saying, rebuilding and stuff like that. So when they seen it wasn't nothing but a signature, white folks start paying $5 to become Indians. Because you know what I'm saying?
Dawes roll.
Exactly. The same way white folks became Indians.
That's why all the fucking Native American chiefs you see right now are white people. They're white. Ain't none of them they not even a little bit brown. You know what I'm saying? They done completely assimilated these people, and they getting kids have been getting their benefits for all these years, and they was never fucking Native American. That's
then you know, you know what's funny though? You know what's funny though? They won't when they see us talking about this, the so-called Native Americans, I see them in the comments call us pretendians. But they don't never get out there fake.
They the motherfucking pretendians.
No, they
our people was already here. They'll say that came here 35,000 years ago through the Bering Strait.
They'll say that quicker about a black person saying they native than a white person. If you
I've never seen it.
When you go through like New Mexico, Arizona, and all that kind of shit, you know what I'm saying, and you traveling. You'll run across a whole lighter breed of Native Americans. They the ones that sold out. They the ones that hate blacks. They the ones that they pretty much like an Aryan version, a Nazi version of Native Americans and shit like that.
The five civilized tribes, basically.
You know, and that's really what went down. The government hooked up with some sellout natives. They sold out the rest of the natives, and
Everybody
those are the
got their
ones that got
sellouts.
those are the ones that got the casinos, and those are the ones that got the stores and everything. Because you know, just like with the Arabs, they come over here, they don't pay taxes for 7 years. So that's how you see them
Longer
in
than
all these
that.
stores like that.
Longer
And
than that.
after
Them
they 7 years
motherfuckers
up,
can have
that
9
what they
kids
do
and
is
14
they bring in a whole
babies and
nother
get
set of them, and they get a
2,500 in
whole new
food
set of
stamps every
7
month.
years.
That's what I meant by
And that's how they
resources
don't.
earlier,
That's how
man.
they
Hey
don't.
That's
That's
what I
how they
man,
meant
don't
by
pay
but you know
taxes.
what? You know
resources.
what? You know what the coldest? You know what the coldest thing?
Resources.
You know what the coldest thing is about all of these different people. What's different? What make them different from us, and where we lack at, and it hurts us badly. They forced the United States to accept and respect their culture. We don't do that. They
Well,
drive them buses with their turbans on, with their thick beards and all that. Nigga drive the job, motherfucker say, you gotta cut your beard off. Nigga just go shave it on. Man, I gotta cut it off. Nigga, oh, you ain't supposed to do that.
Nah,
but
it's
see,
been landmark
Motherfucking
cases
foot
where
down.
black natural hair has been
no,
people
yeah, that's
black
what I'm
folks
trying to
push the
tell you.
line for that.
They forced it on us in different ways.
Now.
They
And it's
they,
still
they
some
forced it
places,
on
it's
and
still
on.
some places that don't allow it. During our parents' time, if you had an afro that was too big, you didn't get the job.
Right.
During my time growing up, you couldn't have ponytails, long hair, French braids,
Braids.
none of that shit.
I
You know
know
what I'm
we
saying?
pushed against that
This
shit.
generation, they kind of tripping on the dreads, but it's like they pick a different thing about our culture to say, no, not you, because we don't have embassies. We
But
don't
see,
have a
that's
sit on the
the
UN.
whole thing about it. See, you got to go to the military to actually pledge allegiance to this motherfucker. So, just like you saying, they don't make us do this. They make
No,
in the
you don't have to
military.
pledge.
Your
You
ass
don't have to
gonna do
pledge
exactly
allegiance. You don't
what
have
they
to
tell
pledge
you to
allegiance for
do.
them to have to respect
They
your
make you.
constitutional
They
rights.
make you shave. They make
They
you
supposed to
eat shit
respect
when
your
they tell
religious
you.
and cultural. They supposed to
So,
respect your religious and cultural freedoms no matter what. If they violate it, they supposed to be eligible to be sued. Niggas don't do it though. We'll just take it on the chin.
You know what
Say,
it
all
is?
right,
We
well,
man.
don't,
that's what I'm
we don't
saying. But
push for
see, that's
human
what I'm
rights. We
saying.
push for civil rights. That's the problem too. Not push for human
Overseas, they
rights.
make them people abide by the rules. You got to join the army or a government force in America to have to submit to some rules. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the thing is, we're not supposed to have to shave our beards if they don't. You know what I'm saying? If we want to have more than one wife and a bunch of, they supposed to respect it to us just like they do it to fucking Arabs. They don't because we don't put our foot down.
Right.
You know what we do? We accept that we property of this country and say, you know what? Every tradition and culture we got, y'all gave it to us. We accept it, and we don't look to be none of what we were before y'all got y'all hands on us. Fuck that. Whatever the fuck we had before these motherfuckers got our hands on us, we supposed to reclaim that shit and force them to respect it. It can be done.
But our leadership is co-opted.
That same type of shit like that is the same way the LGBTQ, the motherfucking gay, all these people can take the civil rights and flip flop it into some bullshit when me and your people done died for that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Every right every one of these motherfuckers got, we died for. This fucking 14th Amendment shit is over us. That's the thing that make it where the thing between black and brown is so sad, because they did a lot for us. Don't get it twisted for 1 minute. Both the wars they fought with the United States was behind slavery and the expansion of slavery. 100. You know what I'm saying? If we made it to Mexico and we were slaves, we were safe when we got there.
Under who leadership though, big bro?
If we couldn't play,
that was for their independence.
If we couldn't play baseball here, we could play down there. But no, what you got to understand is their government wasn't as white supremacist as it is now. They got a Jewish fucking president right now.
But
you know what I'm saying?
Guerrero was a brother.
Man, El Negro Guerrero. Don't leave his nickname out.
Right.
Same thing with Jose Moreno. Same thing with Benito Juarez.
But we're dealing with a different type of Mexican people now. That's under the influence.
But that's really along the border, though. That's really along the northern border. Because the people you get into Mexico, the blacker it get, dog. Yeah. The northern part is all those mixed
the Afro Mexicans are isolated, bro, around Veracruz. It's not
Veracruz, Costa Chica, then Guerrero. They all over the South Central Mexico.
They're not that deep though, bro.
They deeper than what you know. They deeper than what you know, man. They just forced the Mexican government to accept them into their constitution. You can't do that if it's only 10,000 of y'all. You understand?
They're not deeper down there. They're not deeper than the mestizos.
The mestizos is just mixed. That just means mixed people.
Mixed, right?
That means you part black and part Native American. That's all mestizo mean.
It just means mix. It's no
So does
specific
Mexican.
mix. It just means
I
mix.
know you could you could be talking about those. You could be talking about the milky ones that look like motherfucking Canelo, but those are the ones that are in the northern part of Mexico, not the central and southern part.
No, they're deep in the southern, the central part.
No, the crazy part is that the real natives are still real deep and speaking the native language as you get deeper in there. They don't even speak Spanish.
Right.
These are secrets that Americans don't know.
Right.
I know Mexicans that had to learn Spanish before they got to America. They didn't speak Spanish at all. They had to learn Spanish before they left Mexico, then had to learn English when they got here. They still speaking the Noetic. You know what I'm saying?
Mestizos and the pale skinned Mexicans we see all day in LA, they're the minority. Is all that they're the majority.
They're the minority. They're the majority in the northern part of Mexico, bro. You got to go deeper into Mexico. They trust me, they not.
1 minute.
Trust me, they not. The deeper you go, the darker it get. You just dealing with what you seeing that's coming across the border. Those are not only are those the mestizos that gave their daughters to fucking gringos. These are the motherfuckers that really want to be white.
And
we don't come just like with Africa. Just like with Africa, we never come in contact with the revolutionary Africans that love us. Only the sellout ones get to come here. Same thing with fucking Mexico, dog.
Right.
You never go see the dark-skinned ones, dude. You don't even see the Hondurans. You don't see the Guatemalans. They dark as fuck.
Those are products of
Panamanian, Costa Ricans.
Costa Ricans don't want to leave. They the least leaving their country out of all of Central America. Look, how many of y'all know a Costa Rican? How many of y'all ever met one?
No, just like how you said that. Look, just how you know a lot of this is a psyop because Mexico got some of the coldest immigration laws. Nobody talk about that.
Right.
Real talk. If they kick you out, your kids got to go with you, bro. They don't give a fuck about it. But that's the thing. No country got birthright citizenship except America.
Except America.
Everybody was using that, and that was meant for the niggas. That was only. It's crazy how everything that was meant for the niggas, everybody take more advantage of it than we do.
Hey,
a politician, we don't have no representation.
The fair housing, civil rights.
I hate to intervene. This is amazing conversation. I hope that we can continue the dialogue, but I gotta go. We've been on the joint for 3 hours, man. I want to thank everybody. If you got a platform, please shout out your platform so we can get some more traffic to your platform. So if you got a platform, do so now.
I think I got my
shit. I got one, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can check me out, XX Frank XX on YouTube.
No, that's
on Instagram. Frank Jones 8115.
Yeah, I am. Boom.
And I put my shit in the link. Bobby, I want to do a dialogue with you, Big Dev, and Davo, man. I think on my channel. You know what I'm saying? I think that'd be dope.
Let's get it cracking. Anything I can do to support within reasons, I got you. But listen, somebody say some channel. Go ahead.
Yeah, my channel, Davo, man. I'm mostly posting rare, West Coast hip hop and music and shit. Check it out.
Yeah, man. Bam Bam Belly on, man. The What's Going On channel just started it, man. Just getting it cracking. Talk about what's going on, what's happening, what's up.
So what's going on? Okay, I'm gonna check that out, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I just said I got what we're talking about. I got a video called Ancient Cousins on YouTube. Look that shit up, my nigga. Y'all watch that. Because us and the Mexicans are ancient fucking, like I said in the video, they didn't grow out the ground, bro. We all
know it. They don't know it. We know
they
it.
Don't know. My mama, they don't know it.
They have it. Exactly. Right. But look, hey, man, did anybody want to say something positive to close this out? I got
Afro Mexicans is our cousins, not the mestizos.
If they seed line go back to native or African, they're our blood, man. Period.
The mestizo is descendants.
We ain't worried about mothers, just fathers.
They can conquistador babies, homie. They can conquistador babies.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, conquistadors have babies over there, but not on no massive scale. Don't forget those are the recessive. Those are the recessive weak genes. They don't fucking produce babies like that, bro. Stop it. We a dominant gene. We'll breed them out in 2 minutes, dog. You can't put a drop of milk in a cup of a bucket of chocolate. You ain't gonna say it.
Hey, the British, the Portuguese, and the Spanish conquered 98% of this Earth's surface, bro. They was doing a lot of fucking.
And they don't make
real,
babies
my nigga.
like that.
Let's be real.
They had zero birth rate. They had zero birth rate right now. That's why they banned abortion. They can't make kids, bro.
Hey,
Our
we're
numbers
going
are
to
like the sands
continue
of the
this.
sea.
To everybody
All
that's
right.
out there, we're going
Hey.
to continue this amazing discussion at a later time. And as I
That
always
motherfucker
say,
offering 5,000 to make a
as I
baby right
always
now,
say,
man. These motherfuckers ain't making no kids,
let's
man. They
live in
weak.
peace before we have to rest in it. We'll be back at y'all. Love y'all. Hey,
Yeah,
to all the brothers on the
looking out,
platform and all the
Bobby.
brothers in the
One,
chat,
Bringing us
I
home, man.
appreciate y'all. Let's get it cracking, man. Love y'all. Go.
Hey,
one,
man.